Hello. I want to thank you for joining us as we journey deep into the unknown. Tales of terrifying creatures, monsters, and more. As we take this journey together, be on the lookout for our hosts. Anthony Canatella, Steve Wildman Monrodis, Carrie Pocket Doc Davis of Dark Angel Medical, Joshua Jones of All Tower Media. Keep a special eye out for Mr. D.A. Roberts as we dive into these tales of horror, mystery, and monsters. Welcome to D.A. Ex Machina.
Good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us on another edition of DAX Machina. I hope you guys like the new opening credit scene. That's a big thanks to Josh Jones. He just got that done today. I like the new credits. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it much. I'm here tonight with Anthony, my brother from another mother, and Carrie Pocket Doc Davis. He's pint sized, but just the right size. Doc, how the hell are you?
Wyatt, I am rolling.
Glad you're here tonight, brother. And joining us tonight is Jason Kenzie. Jason is an amazing guy. His background is astounding. He started out as a wildlife photographer, been a wildlife photographer for the last 25 years?
Yep.
And since the advent of the Black Plague of the 21st century, he started getting an interest in Sasquatch, and he's really, really delved into this subject. He's gotten a lot of great stuff. His videos are amazing, and I will share the link to his YouTube channel in the chat so you guys can check those out. Hopefully after the show, but we definitely want you guys to check those out and like and subscribe to his channel as well. And without further ado, Jason, if you would give us a little bit of background about yourself, tell us a little bit, and we'll just jump in this thing.
So yes, I'm a wildlife photojournalist. I have been for 25 years. I also do extreme pet photography. So people around the world will hire me to photograph their amazing animals, everywhere from bears, tigers, ostriches. Last week, I just photographed and interviewed a guy that had a wolf, a big gray wolf. And I've done Arctic wolves, I've done monkeys, I've photographed and filmed all kinds of different animals. And then when the pandemic hit, I was going stir crazy because I wasn't able to travel. We weren't supposed to, go around. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to look into this subject called Sasquatch because I've been hearing it over the years. And if they're real, because I'm a bit of a skeptic, I thought, well, you know what? They have to be somewhat of an animal. So one interview led me to another interview, to a location in the middle of the mountains where I found hundreds of these giant footprints that were walked right through this wilderness part, a lake. And I took my drone and I flew over top, and I could see where lots of things had walked through, like a lot of these big giant footprints. And when I showed this to the First Nations people, they told me I had found the migration path to Sasquatch. And in turn, I put this into a documentary called Searching for Sasquatch, Chapter 1, The Crossing, which was shocking for me because I had it put into a bunch of film festivals and won like over 8 different international film awards. And yeah, so that's me, that's me in a handbag.
Right on.
Well, finding that big trackway in the middle of nowhere might have shifted you off that skeptic fence a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, so in order for me to, believe in Sasquatch 100%, I have to be able to physically see it. A daytime sighting. It has to kind of walk up and slap me in the face. Hopefully, it doesn't knock my.
There's a lot of people that won't believe it until that happens.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Daytime sighting?
Well, I was one of them that didn't believe in it. That's plain and simple.
Oh, yeah.
I would laugh at you and make jokes until I had my sighting, and that's what really shifted me a big difference on it.
Well, I don't make fun of people who believe they believe in Sasquatch or any cryptid. Like, I don't sit here and just make fun of them because I believe that they saw something.
Mm-hmm.
After filming 4 Bigfoot documentaries, there's been some crazy stuff that I've come across, and I'm working on chapter 5 at the moment.
Okay, cool.
It's called The Texan Screams. And
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you guys, I've never heard so much screaming in my life. Like, it was just howling after howling, like almost all night long. And it would howl, and another one would howl behind us. And I was with a group of Sasquatch researchers that hired me to come on and film a documentary of their research. And being an animal expert, I know the sound of coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
And something would howl long, and then the coyotes would start. Then all of a sudden there would be a blood-curdling scream that was so different from the other side. And it was just nuts. Like, I'm not kidding. It was going off. Like, and I filmed all of it. Like, I have it all filmed. I have so much audio of it, and I'm putting this into chapter 5 that Searching for Sasquatch, the next documentary that will be released this summer.
Awesome.
Cool.
I can't
Awesome.
wait to watch that. I'd love to.
Yeah,
have
me
audio.
too.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
One of the things I find most fascinating is the fact that you come from a wildlife photographer background, because that's an entirely different approach. Most of us that have gotten into this field at one point or another, we were just, somebody that went, hey, that's a really cool subject. I think it's out there, or we've had an experience and it drew us into the field. I come from a law enforcement background, so I kind of tend to analyze the evidence.
Yeah.
Anthony's the same way. Doc's ex-military. So we all have different approaches to this, but to hear somebody that was a wildlife photographer, you've already studied how animals move, how they interact with their environment. I think that really gives you a great perspective on this subject.
Well, what happened earlier on in my life, being a filmmaker and videographer, I would get hired by different groups,
Mm-hmm.
and they would take me. And they would have me film their event. And I've been on a few ghost expeditions, like going out and filming, EVPs,
Mhm.
and going out and filming their investigation. And yeah, so being in the realm of the unknown, it's fascinating to me because I love a great mystery and I love a great adventure. And this is why I love, searching for Sasquatch. Some people, they see my films, and sometimes, I don't come up with, daytime sightings of the Sasquatch. And then they basically say, your documentaries are crap. And because I don't have, any footage, daytime sightings of Bigfoot. And I say to them, well, the title is Searching for Sasquatch. The day that I come face to face with one of these giant creatures, I'm going to have to change the title to Found Bigfoot and I crap my pants like a little girl.
Yeah. Wish I'd been wearing my brown pants that day.
This last summer, I was in the land between the lakes in Kentucky, and had a sighting of what I believe was a dog man. And I had my cell phone in my hand and never once thought of trying to film it. I mean, I was just absolutely astounded.
Well, I've had a case where I had to drive for 3 hours down a dirt road, and then I got off, and then I took a canoe for another 2.5 hours in this lake. And
Sounds like you went to visit some of my relatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went and parked the canoe, and I was starting to film the intro to chapter 3, and I would come out from behind a tree, and I would howl. I'd be like, "Woo! Wow, this is going to be great! You're going to have so much fun! I'm going to be out meeting a whole bunch of eyewitnesses." I would go and start my spiel, and then I would screw up, and I would say, "Okay, let me do it again." And I walk behind the tree, and I come back out, "Woo! start off with my spiel, and then I would cut and do it again. On the fourth time, I howled, and I got back this blood-curdling growl that I could almost feel. And it went on. It was like, and I'm looking. I'm like, what the? I look at my camera person, and my camera person's like, eyeball, like, what the? And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's a creaking of a tree. In my head, I'm like, wow. I was also a little bit disappointed because I had a microphone, like a not a shotgun mic, but I had a microphone hooked up to me, which is designed to cut out the background. And so I went, so as I'm hiking up in the forest, in the mountain towards the sound, I see about 150 feet from me this big black thing in the forest. And I'm looking, is that a black bear? Maybe it's a cougar. And to be honest, it had like a shape of a gorilla, like the head. So I took I had my camera out, and I'm trying to get video, and it's my camera. I didn't set it on manual; it was on automatic, so it kept going out of focus. And I want to get closer, but there's a whole field of devil's club. So you know devil's club, right? It has a plant that has all the spines on it. If you hit it, it's really sore. So I didn't want to go any closer. And besides, if it was a bear, I'd have to run back through all these devil's club, and I didn't want to. So I took a couple photos, and I took some video, and then I turned around and I walked away because I was afraid it could have been a bear. So I went back. I'm looking at the video. I decided to go back a few minutes later. It was gone. Whatever was there wasn't there anymore. And that's in chapter 3, pretty much at the very beginning of that documentary. And the video is kind of bare, but you can see it was blurry because Sasquatch is a blur, And so you can see that when I move the camera, that the shape moves. You actually see it move, like you see it slightly move. And I didn't see this until afterwards, like till I was really analyzing the footage.
Is this the same area? The same area you did your research in?
What, like for chapter 5?
3. Well, chapter 3 and 5. It's just the same area.
That area I was researching because a guy who was fishing that I interviewed had a daytime sighting of this big hairy creature that was pointing at him. And so he drew a map and showed me where I should go. And that's why I would go off into what I call the adventure bit of it, to go to the area, not just to interview these people, but to actually go with boots down and go into the forest, even if I have to go at nighttime, which I have to admit is quite scary at times.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
You were talking about some of the people that commented on your videos because you had no daytime film.
Yeah.
The thing people need to realize is how many hours do you have to spend in the field just to get like clear pictures of a wolf pack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Wildlife photographers may spend days or even weeks in the field to capture video of known animals that aren't going to be trying to hide from them.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the patience of a sniper, and you wait days for the perfect shot. Literally.
Yeah. Exactly. There's something that's been on my mind, like a theory of mine that I've been thinking about the last little while, is hunters that go missing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they're found dead, ripped apart, or hanging from trees, or they go missing and are never seen again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all these people that talk about, like then you hear hunters who tell their story about how they're sitting there and they see one of these giant hairy creatures walking, sometimes families of them walking past, and they're so scared that they didn't shoot. Like they were so scared they didn't think of shooting it, or they didn't want to. And then you've got all these skeptics, all these people saying, well, why didn't you take a shot? you could have ended this thing about is Sasquatch real or not. Well, those hunters that go missing and the hunters that are found ripped apart and up on trees, maybe they were the ones that took a shot.
You might have a very good point.
And it wounded the Sasquatch, or it killed it, but the family was close behind it and got pissed off.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is beyond my mind, because I've heard, I don't know how many people I've interviewed, like hunters, who tell me their stories about sitting there all quiet. And
That's me.
And so you were hunting, right? You had a gun.
Yeah.
So
that's how I seen it through a scope on my rifle. That's when I was looking at it.
And you didn't take a shot. Why not?
Because it looked too human.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? You may not be sitting here if you'd taken that shot.
Looked way too human to me.
Yeah, it's something that I think about. So when you saw it, it was covered in hair, and did it have kind of a like a monkey face?
No, it looked like more Aborigine. It looked like a caveman Aborigine. That's what it looked like. It didn't look.
But it was big.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was real big. I mean, muscular. And mine, I was looking through it at a scope. I mean, I had a 308 bolt action, and we were pig hunting, and I was on a swamp buggy, and it was in an open area where I seen it, and I didn't see it until it moved its head.
Oh.
It was standing there in a bush, and it blended in so good, I couldn't, I didn't notice it right away. And we had dogs with us, and the dogs didn't even hit on it.
Yeah,
they didn't even want to bother with it.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, the dogs didn't even want to bother with it. And I handed the rifle to my buddy to look at it, and he was like, that's, it's, somebody's either playing a joke on us out here. I said, yeah, but why would they? Where I was, there's a bunch of good old boys that hunt. You're not going to run around in a monkey suit.
That's a good way to get shot.
So,
yeah.
Don't you wish you had the scope that can record video?
Oh yeah. Well, at the time there was no such thing out. That would have been awesome, but that's what changed my outlook. When I seen this thing, when I seen its face, it had gray skin, very muscular, no hair on the face, just on the outline, and it just kept looking at us, and it didn't even run off. It walked off. It just walked right off into the palmettos. Huh?
See you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was looking right at us. I think we snuck up on it when we were in the swamp buggy, because we turned the corner and we shut the buggy off to have lunch. And I think we startled it, like, uh-oh, I got caught. Like I'm in the open.
Yeah.
And when it turned its head, that's when I noticed it right away. But yeah, I was a skeptic right off the bat. I've been out in the woods. I've been hunting. Deep, in the woods, in the swamps, and I never ran into anything like this. And so happened to be that one day, that's what changed everything. Everybody thought I was crazy. So I kept my mouth shut for years. I never went out. I never been hunting again. Never went out hunting again after that.
No, not even with friends?
I mean, on my own property, but I was very leery. It changes you, because you got like a 1,000-pound creature running in the woods. I could deal with the bear. I could deal with pigs, and gators. I have gators. I've dealt with gators the whole entire time when I was down here in Florida.
But you do go into the forest researching.
Oh yeah. Now I do. Now I have a spot here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got numerous weapons that the guys know about. Yeah.
Whenever I go out, I always go armed. I have no intention of wanting to shoot one.
Yeah.
The only way I'm going to fire is to save myself or whoever's with me. I'm not an advocate of killing something just to prove it's real.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely believe in protecting myself, though. One of the things I just added to my tool bag was I replaced my old aging binoculars with a brand new set that has a digital camera built in.
Oh, that's cool.
So hopefully I can get something, because there's been times I've been watching movement in the trees across like a cove in the lake, and couldn't get a clear image, or couldn't try to get a photo to try to enhance it. And I thought these old binoculars have served their day, but I'm replacing them.
And you have infrared on your binoculars?
What's that?
Infrared on your?
No, not on the new ones, but not on the old ones. The old ones were just your old standard bird watcher photographer binoculars.
Yeah, you need good equipment. You need some good equipment, man, and the equipment is so expensive. It's just really expensive. Even on my budget, for a good camera or a good night vision scope camera, you're talking thousands of dollars. If I had money, I would definitely do it. I just, it's just like you have the equipment, which is good. You can go out and get these things at night. You have, and you have other people that have shows like we do, and they get stuff donated to them and stuff like that. And that's how they do it. You need equipment to go out there to really dig deep. You're not going to, a cell phone, you're going to walk out with a cell phone. That's awesome. And that's what I do. And I have a camera I use like this that has digital, has a video on it and everything. And that's all I use. It's like what DA said, you need night vision, a good thermal scope with the recorder on it.
I just bought this.
See? Yeah.
Which has a pretty amazing infrared camera on there. I can shoot either green or white infrared.
And that's what you need.
Wow.
You know that, as well as I do. Some of these animals are nocturnal, So, you're gonna need a good night vision, a real good one, at least fourth generation.
What I found in my research is I don't know how these creatures can do it, but they seem to be able to stand just outside of the beam of the infrared.
We've talked about that.
We've talked about it a lot. Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed when I would put out trail cameras is when the trail camera would snap, deer will react to it. I've seen possums, I've seen raccoons all react to that infrared beam. Yeah. I firmly believe they can see it, and they will stand outside the edge of the infrared and stay away from it. There have been lots of cases of people that lived out in the country talking about their motion sensor lights. They would find sticks stuck in the ground just at the edge of where the motion sensor kicks on.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, we have them. Like, there's a case here in Florida. The lady actually was like maybe 10 minutes away. They would do that. They would put sticks out along the edge to where they knew that the beam was hitting, where they wouldn't walk into the yard for the lights to go off. Yeah. To let her know. Even on the driveway where she had them set up.
I think they can see the IR beam. I think our best shot at catching them is going to be with true low light or thermal.
Yeah.
Well, I agree.
What caribou? Since caribou see that ultra beam light, don't they? It's been known fact that caribou can see that spectrum of light. What other animals?
Cougars have been known to be. Cougars can see it all.
Yeah. So what else is out there that reacts to it?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I've been surrounded by something or some things in the forest where I could see them standing at the edge, like 100 feet away. I could see them, but on the video camera, they're just outside of the green. I could see the eyes, and I'm trying to figure out what it is.
You're not the only one.
Where I saw something kind of drop to the ground and do kind of what looked like a spider crawl across the ground.
They're known for that too.
About 30 feet away, and I saw it go right across. It was nighttime, and I had my video camera facing me because I was talking in the camera. As a filmmaker, I'm trying to explain kind of what's going on, and then I just turned around very quick and caught whatever it is off guard, and it just dropped to the ground and went pew, pew, pew. But it didn't get away from the infrared because I could see the eye shine that was behind my head about a few minutes later. So
they're known for that. They're known going on all fours like a spider and kicking off. And you're not the only one that said that. There's other researchers out there that seen him do it.
There's also stories of them using trees.
Mm-hmm.
Using trees.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where the footprints stop, and people see the footprints, and they're like, "Okay, where is it?" There's, they just dead stop. Yeah. What they notice is that they'll jump into a tree and just take off, and then the footprints will pick back up, like maybe a couple of 100 yards away. So they've been known to do that too.
Whenever I go out, I try to keep my head on a swivel. Right, left, down, up, and behind.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with the super predator. That's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, when you get out there, and shit hits the fan, it's hard. Your mind freezes up.
Mm-hmm.
I am waiting for that nighttime investigation where I get a scream, 20 feet away from me, like the big growl that just almost shakes your skin off your body.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting till that day comes or that night comes where that happens. I'll be excited, actually. Like, I'll be scared, but I'm going to be like, because I want to experience that. Right? I've interviewed many people that's had that experience, and I want to experience that. I want to feel that vibration, that goes through your body.
Yeah, they say it's more, what is it, infrasound?
Yeah,
when they growl,
kind of like a tiger growl.
Tiger,
Speaking of growls, Jason, where were you in Texas whenever you had that encounter?
I was out close to Jasper, about 20 minutes away from Jasper.
Is that big thicket country?
Yeah. I was close to there, and I was with Todd Parsons, and he had a group of Sasquatch investigators, and we were all out there, and when things hit there was one time, this is crazy. We went to a graveyard. It was a graveyard. It wasn't very big of a graveyard, but we're like, it's nighttime. We take ATVs. We're in the middle of nowhere, and we're doing howls and whoops, and everyone has their infrared. And Todd Parsons, he has military grade thermal scope. Incredible, footage. So sharp. And so we did some hoops and hollers, and about 45 minutes, and then we walked over, and there was a gate. There was a big gate, one of the big metal ones, and there's a sign saying "Do not enter, no trespassing." But I'm like, I'm going around. I'm standing, and right away I hear walking, like crunch in the forest. I'm like, guys, I hear something. Shh, I hear something. There's something walking. No, it's not a deer. Listen. And then everyone pulls up. They come around the gate, and we're all looking. I walk into the forest because I want to get closer, because I have my video camera rolling, and I wanted to get the sound of the walking on video. Like I wasn't thinking I would go and walk up to whatever it was. I just wanted the sound. And I'm in there, and everyone's, and then suddenly, I think Shane was the first one. That was one of the guys we were with. He's like, I see it. I see something. And he's looking through the scope, and there is something white. It's small. It's like an animal. It's on the ground. It's white. You could tell that it might be a bird, or it could have been a bunny, but it didn't move. And then I'm listening to it walk. And it's heavy walking. I could tell that it's not deer. It wasn't something walking 4 legs. And then they said, I see something on the ground. And when we look at the footage, the damn thing stands up. It stands straight up on 2 legs, and it's a human figure. And you see the head, you could see the arms, you can see the legs. And I was like shocked when I saw the footage. So what I did was I took some video of me, not standing at the same spot, But because we didn't know exactly where it was, because it walked off,
Mm-hmm.
but we did go in that area. We went through the forest after it left, and we're looking around. We didn't see any footprints. But later on, I had some video of me standing there with my clothes on, with my coat, because I look terrible naked. So I had the clothes on. I didn't want to scare the animals away. And when you compare it side by side, you can see my clothes. But whatever was standing in there was hot, and it didn't have any. It didn't have a jacket. It didn't have anything. Just white. And so I have this image that I'm going to put in chapter 5.
Nice.
That's going to be awesome.
Could y'all
I'm very excited to show it. It just blew me away. And I caught the walking on camera, on the audio.
Wow.
Nice.
Could y'all tell how tall it was compared to where you were standing?
No, not at all. I mean, I would be lying if I said, oh, it was 7 feet tall or 8 feet tall.
Right.
Because really, I mean, obviously what I should have done, and this is hearsay. I mean, it's already done. So what I should have done is said, guys, do not take that spot off your scope. And I'm going to walk up to there and tell me when you see me, and then wave. And then walk up close to that area and just stood there. I mean, I should have done that. I didn't do it. I kind of regret it. But like I said, there's one thing you're going to do. You say you're going to do something. And then when it hits the fan, you just get,
your nerves come into play. I know.
In Michigan was crazy. I mean, we had so much stuff. That's where I saw the thing that looked like that crawled on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That in Michigan.
Wow.
But I was in a hammock tent, like I think night 2, and late at night I kind of tied my hammock tent up to a giant tree X, like this X. These 2 trees, one looked like it was pushed over, but the other one, because like the one that was pushed over, you could see where there was an indent in the ground, where you could see either it fell over for snow load, or maybe it got pushed over. Who knows? But it is 30 feet tall, and the other one, no, it was carried. There was no other way we can explain how it got there, because there was no hole. It looked like it was moved from somewhere and placed, and then there was another one on top. So I tied my hammock tent to it, because all the researchers told me, yeah, this means don't go.
Right.
This is my territory. Don't go past it. And that's what everyone was saying. And I said, really, being a skeptic, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to sleep the night. I'm going to tie my hammock tent close to it. Like I originally tied it underneath it. But then I thought to myself, oh, this is dangerous, because if it falls, there's thousands of pounds. So I tied it right next to 2 trees. In the middle of the night, something walked up. I could feel, like in the night, I could hear that there was maybe a bunny or a mouse that went by. And then there was another time that I think a bunny did go by, and I could hear that. Then all of a sudden there was a big crack. And then and I woke up. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then it crunch. And then it grunted at me. It grunted. It was like, oof, like it was pissed off that I was, whatever it was. I mean, I didn't see what it was. I just heard it. So for all I know, it could have been a wild boar. For all I know.
Right.
But it was, and then it walked off. And that was it. And then I kind of yelled for my buddy that was there. And Dave was sleeping maybe about 20 feet away under another tree. And I woke him up, asked if that was him walking around. He said no, he was all bundled up. It was a really neat experience for sure.
Wow.
I didn't get eaten, so it was a good experience.
It sounds like you've had quite a bit of experience.
Oh, it's crazy. It's just crazy, some of the stuff that I've had happen since searching for these creatures.
Yeah,
Right.
it's crazy.
Something I've said before. You're not going to get that kind of experience sitting at your desk.
No.
You've got to be out there. You've got to get out there and do that. I can't stress that enough. There's a lot of places all over the United States that are hotspots of activity, and if you truly want to see one, there are ways to do it, but you've got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, it's more like if you want to hear one, because a lot of times you really hear them. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
Very seldom. I mean, you only see them by accident, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I bet they're just having fun. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the ones that come around us are either younger ones, like humans. We get, when we were kids, what did we do? We used to sneak away from,
Right.
jump out the window and
And that's what they believe. They believe that too. A lot of the researchers believe the same thing that you just said.
I mean, it just, they're taking chances, right? Either they're kicked out or they're just out toying with us, and they're mimicking exactly what we're doing. Right? They see us. I mean, right now, they see us looking at all the tree breaks, right? And I've seen tree breaks that is being tested, twisted,
right?
And it wasn't until Kreider, Robert Kreider, I went out with him, and he kind of taught me to what to look for with tree breaks. Even finding a big tree break and saying, okay, go ahead. I want to see you twist and break this with one hand. And I couldn't do it with two hands.
Right.
I did it with 2 feet though. I'm telling you, I just get up there.
I mean, you're seeing stuff that it couldn't be done by you, like humanly possible, unless you're a bodybuilder type, probably, and probably they couldn't even do it. Well,
the twisting. I can break, but to twist it and break, it's
impossible.
I've seen the trees ripped out of the ground, turned upside down, and rammed into the ground.
That takes a tremendous amount of strength.
Yeah, I've seen 3 or 4 of them, like in one area. Like,
So
I'm from the Harrison Lake area. Excuse me, the Harrison Lake area in BC. So this area is, a big hotspot for Sasquatch.
Jason, how high were the breaks?
Some were about, like, I'm 5'6", so about my height, and then some of them that I saw were like 7 feet. There was a few that I couldn't even touch. I'd be jumping to try and touch them. Some of the tree breaks, but they're all different levels for sure. I mean, really, there's none that's lower than 5 feet, really.
So it's pretty unlikely Shaquille O'Neal's out there twisting trees.
yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Awissa Khan had a question. It says, any of you going to the Canby, Oregon, July 30th Bigfoot Festival?
Am I going there? No, I haven't been invited. So, ask them if they want to invite me. Go for it. I can come there and I can talk about my experiences.
That would be cool.
Adventures.
I don't know that I'm going to be doing any of the ones on the West Coast this year. Hopefully next year. Mark Napier says, seems like the upside down tree thing happens more up north. I've got accounts of it here in the Mark Twain National Forest here in Missouri.
Oh.
There are people that have seen it. So I don't think it's just a northern thing. I think it's a territorial thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it has to take a lot of strength.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's like their boundary fence.
It's those tree X's that basically baffle me too. And I've seen lots of them. Like, I think I should just make a video and put it on my YouTube channel of all the big tree X's that I come across.
Yeah, because it's humanly possible. Yeah, you can't move these things humanly possible. I know. So
I've seen a few that were questionable. They were small enough that looked like anybody could have done it.
Right.
Then I've seen a couple that were crossed like 20 feet up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Wow.
yeah.
Or the 25 feet long.
It was one of the trees had been freshly uprooted. There was still dirt on the root wad that had been woven in, but there was no place anywhere around it where it had been uprooted from. I have no idea where it was uprooted from, and I can guarantee you a person didn't carry a 30-foot tree that big around that far. And there's no way you couldn't get 10 guys to do it.
Right.
But I never did find where it had been dragged from.
Yeah, that's like them. That's like them saying this is our land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, and yeah, it just gets, for me, it gets funner and funner.
Yeah, you're down the rabbit hole now. You went down the rabbit hole.
Well,
But
and
you know what? The biggest thing about ever since searching for Sasquatch and going out and investigating, I have to say it's the new friends that I meet. That is one of the biggest reasons why I keep doing this. Also, other than trying to find evidence and trying to, but the friendships, the people that I meet,
Right.
to hear the stories, and even the people I interview, I still am friends with them.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you have a connection now. You have stuff to talk about. You have that bond. Once
Shared
you're seeing,
experience.
yeah.
And you've kind of injected yourself into a perfect storm. You're immersing yourself in. I mean, it's like a lot of places. A lot of people say, "Well, how'd you learn that language?" Well, I immerse myself into that culture, and they're going to have better experiences. And that's the same thing you've done. You've kind of immersed yourself into this, and you're going all these different places. So it's almost like somebody fishing with 3 or 4 lines. You're going to get a hit sooner or later.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Exactly.
had. Yeah, it's a big community, and so you got your pros and you got your cons with them. It's you got your people that really believe in it, and then you have your skeptics that, okay, I'm going to try to prove this wrong, but yet I'm having my own experience on it, and then you have your own little cliques that people deal with in the community. It's anything that you get into, anything, football, baseball, anything that you're endorsed in. I just believe everybody should just work together and prove that this thing is real, instead of going at each other's throats. And his research is not good enough, or his research. Just get together and just work together and get it done. Who cares who 100%. Takes the credit? I don't care. Well, it's out there, and prove it right. Everybody wants the credit to catch this thing and have a body or get the film, and it's like, come on, really, for what reason?
Well, unfortunately, Anthony, you and I both know this. We all know this. A lot of people are just in it. They're in it for the wrong reason. They're in it for strictly notoriety, for plain and simple, more so than the pure scientific aspect of it.
Yeah.
And
people are going to make money. It's like anything. I mean, you're going to make money off of anything that you're going to be doing, as far as, it's like me. I'm not making a dime. Doc ain't making a dime. He has his own company. So does DA. We're not making money off of what we're doing.
I make 25 cents. So.
Right. But I'm just saying,
you're a paid professional.
You went down that rabbit hole. You went down that rabbit hole to where it was like, okay, either I'm going to prove this right or prove it wrong. And now it's got you endorsed. You're like, oh my God, I'm having all these experiences, and that's the difference, Yeah.
When I first started filming, and when I first started researching on Sasquatch, I was kind of, I wasn't taking it that seriously, like chapter 1, the crossing. I mean, I love the adventure of it. And then when I interviewed the first person, and in turn, I found it fascinating. They said, well, why don't you go talk to this person?
Exactly.
Because this person had one too. So I went and talked to them. Then I said, well, where did this happen? And they told me where it was. I said, well, I'm just going to go into the forest, and I'm going to see what I can find. And in turn, found some interesting stuff. And then I would lead to another person to investigate. And then it just kind of
rolled.
Wow. And then after winning all these international film awards with the first documentary, I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I have all this other footage. Maybe I'll just do a chapter 2, and I just keep it going. I can't wait till I'm at chapter 455,000.
There you go.
Yeah, but it could take anybody can, like I said, everybody can make that discovery, and they're going to get okay, we know it's real now. I know it's real. I know what I've seen. But you're going to get the scientists like DA makes a joke.
Do it, DA.
Do it, DA, with the scientist. You could talk to a scientist. till you
old
blew in the
British
face, and
Museum.
you know.
I always talk about the old British Museum back when they were first discovering the mountain gorillas, and the hunters would come back and say, "We're getting these stories of these mountain gorillas," and the British Museum was like, "Oh no, that couldn't possibly exist." And then they bring in a body, and they're like, "Oh yes, I saw it first. I get to name it."
Yeah, right.
Well,
So
in 2021, didn't they just discover a new species of monkey?
yeah,
Yeah, they discovered a species of monkeys recently, and I think it was 1999 or 2000 when they discovered the billy ape.
Billy Ape,
Oh, the
Yep.
Billy, yeah.
the lion killers. They're,
Yeah.
I mean, these
And that
things
one kind of
used.
set people on their ears because the locals have been saying there's a violent species of ape out here, and they called them the lion killers. And everybody was like, "Oh God, no, there's no killer ape." And then National Geographic accidentally caught it on a trail cam, and like, "Holy crap, this thing is out here!"
And they kill lions and they actually use weapons.
Yeah,
They
they're
have
very,
this thing.
very violent.
They have this thing carrying a club, beating a lion with it.
Holy
I mean,
crap.
it's like, you got that. People look at it and they go, "Okay, this is a wild animal. How does it know to do this?"
Yeah.
No.
A lot of wild animals are far more intelligent than people give them credit.
And that's what people need to
Bingo.
realize.
I've seen plenty of raw intelligence in just my dog, and he's a lunkhead, but he figured out how to open the door.
Yeah, that's like the same as mine.
Yeah, my dog learned to do my taxes, and I pay a lot of money for some things.
Oh, that's a good one.
And all it cost you was a milk bone. All it
That's
cost you was
it.
a milk bone. That's it.
Yeah, for me, the milk bone's for me because so
I got this image. I
you
got
know,
this image of this dog with one of those old visors sitting on with a ink pen behind his ear, looking at you like,
Yeah, and the
"Yeah, we can
glasses.
get it back."
An IRS agent's watching this right now, going, "Really?
Your dog
Did he
needs
really
a
do it? Yeah, like really? We're gonna audit it. We're gonna audit him right now. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that was good.
Now your neighbors are going to want your dog to do their taxes.
no,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go do their taxes.
Yeah,
No,
That's hilarious.
It's fun, and it's just a blast to go out and see what you can discover. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to discover a new animal?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Like an actual new animal. Like I would love to go to New Guinea and do some exploration out there because allegedly they could have like dinosaurs out there.
yeah. They've had accounts of pterodactyl
Yeah.
flying around. I mean, you got missionaries, missionary people from the United States making statements. Hey, we seen this thing. This is what's going on, and people are looking at them like, "Nah, not true." But they have, even the locals have been making statements. We talked about that on the show a while back, but the jungle and woods, man, there's some parts are so unexplored. It's like, come on,
You live up in British Columbia. There are parts of northern British Columbia where humans have probably never been.
Yeah, it's true. Totally.
Yeah,
You guys have
I mean-
deep wilderness out there, like all through parts of Alaska, northern Canada, all the way up toward Hudson Bay. There are places that people have just never been.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
true.
think it's extremely naive to think that, there's nothing else out there.
Mhm.
I really
Well, that's
do.
the thing. You have to be kind of an open-minded skeptic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I went down to Mexico on the border of Belize, and I went searching for this 30-foot crocodile. And I hired a boat and these fishermen who swore they saw this, this massive crocodile. And they took me and they showed me some of the slides, when the crocodiles go into like they lie in the sun
Yeah.
and they slide into the river. And there were some slides that I saw that were massive, absolutely massive. And we came across one crocodile that was probably about, I would say about almost 10 feet. And we got too close and it kind of jumped at the boat and scared the fishermen. And that was the end of that. They were like, okay, we got to go. It's going to sink the boat. But I went into areas of Mexico that had that human North American footprint haven't touched it for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Like I went to the very back end of some of the temples that they found, some of the ruins, and I climbed up on, Chichen Itza,
Yeah.
the pyramids there. I actually went to ones that were bigger than that.
Holy
Wow.
smokes.
They don't even know about. They don't even know about. And I went and stood on top of, and they were overgrown with the forest,
Jungle.
with the jungle, right? And so who knows what's out there? In fact,
Yeah.
a few days after I left that area searching for this crocodile, they actually found some treasure that was worth millions of dollars in a cave, maybe about 2 miles from where I was looking around.
Wow.
And so,
Wow.
who knows what's out there, especially out there in Mexico and Belize, some of the crazy stuff that you hear out there.
Yeah. They got. I mean, there's so many there's so much wilderness that has not been touched at all. It's nuts. It's crazy.
Well, there's legends like El Dorado.
Yeah.
It's never been found.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And who knows, it may really be out there somewhere.
It might be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you went down the rabbit hole now. Now you're down the rabbit hole. You're yeah, until you have
you mean I'm down the Bigfoot hole.
Yeah.
The giant footprint.
Yeah. And that's what happens to a lot of people that get into this, man, that do the research. You got, bring up another name that does it, Les Stroud. Look at him. Very big skeptic.
Yeah.
Look at all the experience and all the stuff that's happened to him in making, even like back by it. He's actually admitted on camera the mind speak things talking to him, and he's like, I mean, that's a big, that's a big step. Yeah. I mean, you're talking a big celebrity to come like, okay, this is what's going on. And, he made his living off of survival skills and making shows and stuff. He went down the rabbit hole. Now he's in it.
Well, in chapter 3, I have the weird talking. Wop wop nip wop 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 wop. That was caught late at night, like 2 in the morning while everyone was sleeping. You hear a whoop, what about whoop? That's exactly what was caught on the audio, and it was clear as day. I'm like, wow, that's what the heck is that?
I'm going to be watching those tonight.
That's awesome. I didn't see that. This is chapter 3.
I haven't made it that far into the videos yet.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I have chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 and chapter 4, and I'm working on chapter 5.
And all of them are out. All 4 chapters
all
are out.
If you were to search Jason Kenzie's Searching for Sasquatch, chapter 1 or chapter 2, chapter 3, you'll find it.
Those are on your YouTube channel, correct?
No. Well,
a photo warrior.
They're on my YouTube channel, but they're chapter 3 and chapter 4. There you can find them online. They're also on Plex TV.
Okay.
And Tubi TV. You can find it on Tubi TV. If you search Tubi TV, you can actually find it on there, which is a streaming platform, which is really exciting. I was excited that they picked those up. You can find them on Amazon. Also, you can find chapter 3 and chapter 4 on Amazon.
On the Amazon Prime?
No, just on Amazon.
Okay.
I don't think it's Prime. But yeah, it's like, I even published a children's book called Adventures of Little JJ, Rescued at Cryptid Island, which has to do with a little 6-year-old boy that rescues a little Sasquatch girl.
That's cool.
Gets lost from her family, and little JJ has to bring her back to her family, which was kind of neat, and that cool. You can also find on online too on Amazon.
I'll definitely be checking those out.
Yeah.
I've been saying
That's
for a
cool.
while that it was going to take somebody who is a skilled wildlife photographer, or like Carrie pointed out, a sniper, somebody with the capability
Hmm.
of being motionless for hours and hours at a time to get that one perfect shot,
Yeah.
to get the footage people are going to need to get a clear image. But unfortunately, there's been so many people that have hoaxed in this field. It's going to take more than video, or no matter how clear, or photos, no matter how clear, to be considered proof. However, getting good photos is still going to be huge.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a technique that you'll have to do to prove that Sasquatch is real without killing it. And what it is, let's say you do see a Sasquatch and you do film it with your phone. You cannot turn your phone off. I don't care what it is, and you have to walk towards the creature, because everything that I've heard about Sasquatch
Mhm.
is they always walk away. Right? They walk away from you. They don't want, they either they're scared of you, or they are nervous, or whatever the case is.
Hmm.
They see you, they walk away. So without turning your phone off, your video camera, you have to walk to that area, and you have to film. If you can find footprints, you can film the footprints without turning your camera off. That is very crucial, that you don't turn it off. You keep it rolling, even if it's like this. Who cares? As long as it's all rolling.
Mhm.
Then you have to try and film the area. Like if there's a tree, you have to film how high it was
Hmm.
without turning the camera off. Right? And if you find footprints and you can cast them at the same time with the footage from your cell phone, without turning it off, can actually prove that they're real. Because if you can, if you can prove that there's footprints, you can prove that the creature that was standing there was 8, 9 feet tall, right? As it walks off, you can prove that it wasn't someone in a suit, you know.
Yeah.
I think that a good image like that is going to go a long way, but it's unfortunately it's going to take a specimen before anybody's completely satisfied. Um, and well, the state of Oklahoma recently offered a $3 million bounty on one, but it has to be alive.
Yeah.
That's the stipulation.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, because if you manage to trank one, even if you put it down, it's probably got buddies that are nearby,
Well,
which
that's the
may
thing.
which may not be happy about you tranking Charlie. Um, but there's some of the government agencies are starting to take this seriously. Like what I've mentioned this on the show before, but the Ohio Department of Natural Resources put out a series of videos on what to do if you encounter a Sasquatch. And when I first heard about it and started to watch the videos, I thought it was going to be campy or tongue in cheek, and it's not. Up in the Pacific Northwest, they're now marking trails, warning people of certain areas at certain times of the year. So little by little, I think the powers that be are kind of slowly admitting to knowledge. I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to happen all at once, much like with the recently declassified UFO footage from fighter jets. I don't think it's going to ever happen just like they go, boom, here it is. But I think they're going to drop a little bit at a time until
Yeah.
they slowly release pretty much everything we need to know. I mean, like for example, the FBI released recently declassified their documents from the investigation following the Patterson Gimlin footage, and the FBI concluded that there was enough evidence to conclude this was a real creature. But at the end of the document, they said, but they believed it was dead, and that was the only one of its kind.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's anybody that knows anything about zoology knows that's completely impossible. There's
Yeah.
not just one.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, even for the longest time, everyone always talked about, you know, Bigfoot as Bigfoot. And I'm like, well, you need to put an S at the end, really. Sasquatches,
Mhm.
right? Because it can't be just one. And I can understand that, but like a giant dinosaur that is, 100 feet long. I mean, can you imagine if there's 1,000 of them?
Mhm.
How are they hiding? Like in the jungle of New Guinea, like there has to be. I understand people are going to say, well, the jungle is massive. I know, but can you imagine a dinosaur which is 100 feet long and 1,000 of them or 2,000 of them. I mean, they can't be as intelligent
Mhm.
as like Sasquatches, right? They're just a giant reptile, right? So it's not like they're trying to avoid us, right? So it's, to go and see, trek into the forest and there's a dinosaur right there. I'm surprised that there hasn't been more, more sightings of these creatures.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have felt more comfortable coming forward in recent years. I'm not. I don't think the subject will ever be completely mainstream until it's proven. But because of the advent of so many shows like Finding Bigfoot and all of the network shows that are now now showcasing Bigfoot encounters, I think people feel less stigmatized coming forward. So we're starting to see a lot of accounts, even old accounts that people happened to them back in the 70s, are coming forward and say, "Hey, this happened. I wanted to tell my story."
Well, I'm surprised at Finding Bigfoot. How many seasons? 10, 11,
Something like that. Yeah.
11 years, and they had like some really expensive technology, and they didn't find any. They didn't find the proof.
You don't want my opinion on that, but
I think in order for them to be truly successful, they're going to need to spend more than a night in somebody's backyard. They're going to need an amount of expedition that goes out in the deep woods for a long time.
They never did sleep like in a tent. I mean, maybe occasional episode, but who knows? Right? The behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's. My opinion on that's good. I'm not going to say anything. I keep my mouth shut on that one. But anyway, yeah. I mean, like I said before, people are out there to do what they need to do. They're going to make money. It's a TV show. It brings people in, which is a good aspect about it. They're bringing in the public on, awareness on it. So I mean, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, Jason, we're at the top of the hour. I'm not wanting to run you off, but I know you said you only had about an hour for us. So
I better get out of here. And
I know you've got to go filming tonight, which I wish you the best of luck. And I am really looking forward to your new documentary coming out. That is going to be fantastic. I will post your YouTube link again in the chat for anybody that would like to check that out.
And I have a website too called searchingforsasquatch.ca. So people can go there and they can check it out. There's also a Facebook page too called Searching for Sasquatch. They can also go there and they can, I usually post updates to. Have you guys heard? I wrote a song with Todd Parsons. He's a country singer, but he also researches and
really.
And I did a country song. He sang it, and we both wrote it. And it's called "Searching for Sasquatch." And you can find it on iTunes. You can find it pretty much on any of the streaming platforms. And and I also remastered "Grandma Was Run Over by a Reindeer." With
I saw that video on your YouTube channel
where Grandpa was abducted by a Bigfoot.
Gotta see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, so I did a music video, and I was able to get the rights to remaster it to the way I wanted it, and definitely you guys should go and check that out. I did. You saw that funny little video that I did called "The Greatest Bigfoot Investigator."
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So
that one's pretty awesome.
I was kind of poking fun at myself as an investigator because I just didn't want people to think that I thought that I was like the best, right? I go investigating, and I go searching, and it's like. I'm no better than anyone else, and I thought I'd poke fun at myself. So, hopefully people will enjoy that little video. It's kind of a spoof.
Well, hopefully everybody will go over and check out and like and subscribe to your video, to your
yeah.
YouTube channel, and check all those out. And again, thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to come back on when you're closer to releasing the next video to promote it, we would love to have you back on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. I think we, with only one hour, we just kind of scratched the surface. But I really appreciate you being here tonight, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you be safe out there tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great rest of the evening.
Thank
You
you.
too, sir.
Jason, you
You
too.
too.
Guys.
I guess he's gone. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. That video, searching for Sasquatch music video, is on his YouTube channel. So is the grandpa got abducted by a Bigfoot.
That's I never even seen that. I gotta watch that. Gotta watch that.
He's got quite a few Bigfoot videos on his
Yeah.
YouTube channel. So you guys
Well,
definitely check that out.
Look what happened. I mean, he's a like you said, he films wildlife.
Mhm.
You know, I
And
mean,
that's bringing a whole different perspective to cryptozoology, because like you said, most of us that got into this came from different weird all kinds of backgrounds. I'm a former cop. And Anthony, you got a law enforcement background. Doc's ex-soldier and a medic. I mean, people have lots of different backgrounds, and a lot of people don't have any investigative training whatsoever. They're just fascinated by the subject and they just get into it. But coming into that, like somebody that's trained to photograph wildlife, that brings a different approach, and it's no wonder he's gotten so much good contact and good result so quickly, because he knows the techniques for tracking animals.
yeah, but it took him. He went down the rabbit hole. I mean, he got that one. That's what it takes. You see that you have that one experience, and then it's like, okay, I need more.
Yeah,
I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more.
But he's got that, like DA said, he's got that expertise, that leg up on everybody else. He's got that expertise in his field. He's already a master of his craft to build on. And so he's light years ahead of most people who just come into it because they have an encounter and then they're intrigued and go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, with 25 years experience, tracking and photographing wildlife, he comes in with a huge leg up. I grew up deer hunting, so I learned to track animals. I learned, I spent a lot of time in the woods. So and law enforcement background gave me a certain amount of advantage, but not like that. I mean, it's like comparing your average infantryman to a ranger. There's just not a lot of comparison.
Exactly.
There. The skill levels are totally separate.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like a lot of these guys get into, I mean, he didn't believe in it. He was a skeptic. And still is a little bit, like he said, he needs it to see it face to face, but he knows he's having these experiences and he's seen, that thermal footage, he's like, okay, what is this?
Mark Napier's got a good point. And his first thought is camera up.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a photographer. He's conditioned himself over 25 years to realize when I see that, I've got to get that camera up, because that's what he trains for. And they taught us that in the military. They taught us in law enforcement. You were going to react how you train. If you don't have that muscle memory, that
I was just about to say that, right?
Yeah, if you don't have that it's not even a conscious decision anymore. I mean, like, for example, as a cop, if you have to think, I should draw my gun right now because I'm in a dangerous situation, you're already shot. You've got to have that muscle memory to draw quickly and be ready. I've been in that situation a few times in my career where my gun was in my hand before I even thought about drawing it, and it's probably what kept me alive. But it's muscle memory. It's you react how you train, and the fact that his first reaction is to get that camera up gives him a huge advantage. Because, like I said, when I was in LBL back in July and I saw what I believe is a dog man, I had my freaking camera in my hand.
Yeah,
and
you
never
don't
once
realize
thought
it.
of it.
You don't.
That's something I realize now I've got to condition myself to do, is to get that camera up. But you can ask Nick Valente. He was right next to me. I never once thought of bringing that camera up. I'm like, dude. And next thing I know, I find myself outside of his SUV. I hopped out and I'm like heading over toward the trees, and I've got my camera in my hand, and I still have not thought of filming a damn thing.
Yeah.
And the camera didn't even occur to me till we'd already left the area. We went and looked for tracks. We went and looked for disturbances on the ground. Didn't film any of it.
Right. Right.
Didn't even occur to me till we were already gone from the area. I was like, well, shit, that was a missed opportunity.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
That's how it usually happens. That's what all these hunters have the experience when they're out hunting. They don't carry. I mean, most of them, 90% of them, they carry cameras with them now. You got your phone. They don't reach out and grab it and be like, oh, what is that?
Well, there's such a big parallel between these hunters and these wildlife photojournalists. They know how to stalk, they know how to be patient, and they like we were talking, they wait for that perfect shot, and I think that's the reason he's probably getting so much good footage. And like Anthony just said, that's the reason the hunters are getting the footage nowadays, because they've got the scopes that record and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what you need. You need the good equipment,
Yeah.
Northwoods Cryptid says you almost need a camera on your head somehow. He is absolutely correct.
Absolutely. I was thinking body cam.
I'm thinking about getting a GoPro.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to get a pair of them and mount them to my pack straps, one facing front and one facing back.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking body cam, but I mean, if you're serious about it, and I know you are, but I'm saying, I know financial constraints are a big thing.
Yes, they are.
And because
Michael Watts said exactly what we were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, money is real tight right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I am right there with you.
Yeah,
our finances are stretched tighter than a gnat's nose across the
exactly.
I'm making Lincoln scream right now. You hear?
I know what you're saying. Believe me.
Will you?
Pinching a penny so tight you pinch a booger out of Lincoln's nose.
Exactly, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's the truth.
Well, you know what they say though, and I can make this joke because my family's all Scots. But you know what they say? How copper wire was invented? Two Scots fighting over a penny.
That's true, man. That's true.
My grandfather was just like that, man. Tighter than bark on a tree.
Yeah, my great grandfather from over across the pond was. My dad said he was so tight he squeaked when he walked. He said so. Same thing.
Werewolf 5674 had a good comment. It says not only does he have 25 years, he lived 25 years filming wildlife. And he died doing it.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
it is a dangerous occupation.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, what's your name?
Imagine laying there in the bushes trying to film a wolf in the wild. You're like sighting in, and this grizzly bear comes up like, "Hey, what are you looking at?"
No, look at what's her name that did the mountain gorillas. What's her name?
Jane Goodall.
Yeah, I mean she's still alive and kicking. I mean,
when she was doing the documentaries on chimpanzees, she would lock her own child up because she knew they had a tendency of carrying off infants.
Yeah.
I mean, look at her. I mean, they could have grabbed her and ripped her apart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
And she's gone on record saying she believes Bigfoot is a possibility, that she believes it's out there.
Because she's seen the evidence on top of it, and she's like, it's too much evidence. Footprints, hair, even the hair. How do you explain the hair samples? Exactly. we don't have polar bears running around Florida and Colorado.
Sadly, like DA said, until there is a body, then it's gonna be, everything is gonna be attempted to be debunked and refuted.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
That's just it.
But those guys that did the end of the 168, they got those clear shaft hair samples.
Yeah,
and the idea that the combination of those clear hair shafts, which will pick up the light around them, and the neutral gray of the skin, which also reflects the colors around them, that could go a long way to explain the so-called cloaking ability. Yeah, that's just natural camouflage, which that's what I've leaned to a long time.
Absolutely, because I looked at some of Mark Zasky's stuff after he was on the show, and it was impressive, man.
Yeah,
some of the stuff, because the way it's almost like they bend the light and have their own active camouflage,
Right. Right.
Helen Harrington says the government has bodies. I totally agree. I think
Oh, yeah.
not only they've got bodies, they've known
know
about
it.
them for a very long time.
100%.
Mount St. Helens, same experience
Lots of
there.
accounts of them being taken out of there. There
soldiers.
were also accounts, the soldiers who went into that place in North Carolina where people were being killed.
Mhm.
They left with bodies. Mark Napier says several wildlife photographers have had lions and cheetahs come up and lay next to them on the ground.
Yep.
That's got to be a butt puckering moment. You're like, oh, hey, I'm going to get a picture of this freaking meerkat. Oh shit, there's a lion.
Right.
Like, hey, buddy.
Yeah,
hey,
there was.
You want a granola bar?
Yeah, I saw a photograph of a wildlife photographer. He was in camouflage, laying on the ground, and there's a fox like coming up, sniffing on him, and like looking in the camera, like.
Yeah, I've seen that. How about the guy with the polar bear? Guy was filming. He was filming something else, and this polar bear came up. I mean, within feet of him, and he wasn't even, because he was in a ghillie suit. Mm-hmm. And this polar bear's looking at him. He had to actually stand up, and this polar bear like, whoa, what the hell was that? And he had to run this thing off. I was like,
he's lucky. Polar bears are confirmed man-eaters.
Yeah, no crap.
And this thing, I mean, it was a juvenile, and it was like, what is that? Ooh. You know, like, who's this guy? It was pretty crazy.
That'd make you pee down your leg a little bit.
Yeah, hell yeah. A polar bear? Yeah, run into a black bear in the woods. I've done it. That scared the living piss out of me, too.
Yeah.
You know.
I bet.
I rounded a corner on the trail years ago up in I believe it was Rocky Mountain National, and rounded the corner and almost came nose to nose with a grizzly bear, and it looked at me and I looked at it, and it's like, oh shit, and then it went its own way and I went mine.
Well, I mean, yeah, you get, like, even a black bear. Black bears are, they eat roots, berries, but there's been accounts that if they're a sow and they have cubs, they'll kill a human. Mm-hmm. They'll tear up a human with no problem.
The black bear may not be as big as grizzly, but they are not to be taken lightly.
Nope. Not when you got a 500-pound one in the back of your truck trying to get the garbage out of it. Believe me, you don't want to. I've ran into that too at my house. You don't want to piss that thing off. So.
No. Well, I was watching a thing, the Northwoods Lodge, and Doc knows those guys.
Yeah.
But they went back to this lady's house like 10 times. They're telling her, stop feeding these damn bears. They're going to keep coming around. And they finally had to threaten to arrest her to get her to stop feeding the bears. I'm like, you moron. Yeah. You have no idea. You're putting everybody around you in danger. Because those bears start associating people with food. And if it walks up, it's like, hey, where's my stick? And you don't have one. Guess what? You're liable to get your ass kicked.
Same thing in Jersey. They're having a problem out in the suburb areas where the woods meet the suburbs in Jersey. There's bears all over the place. Yes, people have them walking around up and down the street, going in their garbage.
And that's a dangerous thing. Anytime a predator, a big predator, and a good-sized black bear can weigh 400 or 500 pounds. Anytime a predator that large starts associating us with food, that's a bad day.
Yeah.
We don't want them to lose their fear of us. We need to remain firmly in place at the top of the food chain, or something's going to come along and knock us off.
Right. Yeah. We're not the apex predator. I hate to say it. When you're out in the woods, you're not the apex predator.
Oh no.
You're not in your element unless you were born and raised in that environment.
That's right.
You are nowhere near as proficient as they are. Even they're lifetime of instinct and generations of instinct of this creature. You're just there.
Yeah, you're an interloper and occasionally a snack.
Yeah.
John Doe says human is another shape of meat. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
He's right. Look at that guy that filmed all those grizzly bears.
Oh, Jeebus.
It ain't gonna hurt you. I mean, he's out in the wild. What happened? Friggin' bear ate him and then shit him out. They found the jewelry.
Yeah.
And it happened to be a rogue bear that came into the territory. It wasn't one of his bears that he was filming. And it was a male adult. And this ate both of them. I mean, I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, Naomi says Timothy Treadwell. Yeah, the what they call him, the bear man or something like that.
Yep. Did it kill him and his girlfriend
Grizzly
both?
Man. Kill him and his girlfriend.
Killed him and his girlfriend both.
They found jewelry. That's how they knew that they got jewelry and teeth. I think it was. That's how they knew he got eaten, because he was missing for weeks and months. And they finally found the bear that did it, because this bear came in. There was a rogue bear that came into this territory, and they found the bear. I guess they put the bear down, but yeah, it ate both of them. Like,
Man,
came into their camp.
Hooter Transport says, see the fox in D.C. biting politicians. Turns out it had rabies. Now we have rabid politicians. I think we always did.
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
Meg Mill says, the bears here are being crowded out. They usually will not bother us, but still, of course, do not push it. We have 400-pound ones walk through, but respect them. Exactly.
Yeah.
And do we taste like chicken? I've always heard human referred to as long pork. Mondoc 40 in research says, I was at Yellowstone, and at the nighttime ranger program, the ranger gave us an easy way to remember the difference between black. I remember that. Yeah, look for the little bells and the smell of pepper spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use a pepper spray on us like Texas Pete or Tabasco.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That's some scary stuff.
Robert Sharp says, I feel sorry for the fox biting the politicians. That's hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah, Jason was a good one, man. Need to get him back on here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm anxious to see the rest of the videos that he currently has out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for them.
I'm gonna go through the rest of his YouTube channel, looking at the ones he's got up, and then I'm gonna find those ones on Amazon. Speaking of on Amazon, the other day when we had Doug Highcheck on, he was talking about that documentary he made for History Channel called Giganto: The Real King Kong. I managed to snag the last copy Amazon had. I texted Doug when I got it, sent him a picture of it. Like, hey, look what I just got. Now I need to get you to sign it. He's like, bring it up.
That's pretty rad. That's pretty rad.
I can't find it. I mean, I can find it on Amazon. It's not on Amazon Prime now. That's the whole thing. I got Prime.
No, it's not on Prime. I found it for sale, the DVD, and I got the last one they had available.
Yeah, it's not even being. You can't find it anywhere else. That's the whole thing. You have to buy the DVD. So I'm gonna have to do that to watch it.
Mondoc says a black bear will climb the tree, then eat you. A grizzly bear will knock the tree down, then eat you.
No. Yeah. For a black bear to do that, he's got to be really hungry, number one, or pissed off. So we've got black bears all over the place over here.
Yeah. Any animal could be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Even deer. I mean, there are cases of like, that video was always it just made me laugh hysterically.
Which one you're talking about?
One moron that covered himself with doe scent to try to get pictures of the bucks, and that one came up and just beat the crap
Beat
out
the shit out of him right there. Yeah.
Yep.
Couldn't get away from him.
That's why you don't do that.
Yeah.
Then there's another video of that idiot that in Yellowstone that wanted to go up and pet one of the bison.
Oh yeah,
that didn't work out real good for him.
He got thrown.
He got launched pretty good.
I think he survived, but he went that video. He went 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, he did,
like a freaking rag doll.
Wow.
We just got our first super chat from William Bedard. Hey, thank you, sir. Super chat says, they say the eyes of a Sasquatch are so sensitive, a high-powered laser might be better than a BB gun. They run from intense light. They can't handle it. That's good to know. I've got a super bright flashlight that has a strobe effect that I have used on a number of occasions to visually stun people in situations when we had a tense situation. So that's what I carry. It's a ProTac HL5X, 3,500 lumens. It's got a strobe feature.
Damn.
Yeah, it'll get your attention.
Yeah, that would blind you.
Yeah, that was my car searching light forever. Mark Napier says that buck was trying to mount him. Yeah, here's your deer sausage, buddy.
That was what it was in that video.
Robert Sharp says, I had an elk knock me out of my grandpa's deer stand and into a big cold pond. Yeah, those are big animals. And moose kill people constantly.
Yeah.
They're not meat eaters. There was a video going around in Alaska, and Fred Roll is the one that told me about it, and I found the video. I guess these kids were tormenting this moose in town. I think it was in Anchorage. They were tormenting it, like throwing rocks and stuff at it, and got it all pissed off, and they ran off. Well, this moose is walking through town, and this poor, unlucky SOB walks out of this bank counting his money, and that moose sees him and just and stomped that dude to death.
Good
He never saw
Lord.
it coming. It just blindsided him and blitzed the crap out of him.
Well, who expects a moose to be in town when you're walking out of a
Well,
bank?
I guess it's in
You know?
Alaska. It's not all that uncommon.
No.
But these two idiots had tormented this moose to the point it was just furious.
God
And the first person that got close to it got it.
Oof.
John Doe says flashbang him. That might work. Because flashbang tends to work on everything.
Yeah. That does, that'll throw you off for a couple of minutes.
Mondoc 14 Research says we call them Turons here in Montana. A tourist moron company.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We have them in Florida too. Oh, look at that alligator. And they walk up to it and, next thing you know, you see a sneaker floating in the water. You're like, hey.
There was a movie I watched here recently with my wife, and it was supposedly based on a true story. It's called Rogue, just Rogue, Rogue, and it's set in Australia. It's an Australian movie, and it was about a 30-foot crocodile.
I seen that with the
tour boat full of tourists.
The tour boat,
Oh,
yeah. Ooh,
right.
that was nasty.
And this thing didn't look like just your garden variety crocodile. It looked like a sarcosaurus. I mean, that thing looked like a freaking dinosaur.
Yeah,
and it was big enough. It knocked a boat capable of hauling like 20 people. It flipped
hell.
it, sank the boat.
Yeah, I seen that movie. Yeah, they said it was supposed to be true. It happened out in the outback somewhere in Australia.
John Abraham says, question, is there any chance of getting David Paulides for a show? We are trying. That's all I could say about that. We don't know for sure, but we are working on it.
I'm pulling the strings. Let's put it like that. That's all I have to do.
Anthony has been working overtime getting us.
Yeah, Anthony. Damn.
I've been pulling strings, so I got some good people coming on. Obviously, you guys could see that on the upcoming shows. Dave Hydecheck, he was a big plus. Great guy, great man.
Yeah, super great guest. We're going to get Doug back sometime very soon. Awesome guest. Carrie, you missed out. You weren't there for that.
I know.
Doug was an awesome guest.
Yeah, he was.
Fantastic.
Even what's his name that was on tonight? Stop. Great,
Jason.
great. Yeah, Jason, another good guest. Also, She Squatchers, trying to get them on. I'm in contact with one of the women.
We're going to get Chris Reinhardt back after the New Mexico expedition too.
So
him and I have already talked about that.
A lot of good people that are coming on. Like I said, I am trying to pull the strings on certain big celebrities getting on here.
Yeah, we don't want to drop any names until we have confirmation.
No, until I know.
That'll just jinx it. As soon as you say the name, it's going to disappear. Like
exactly. So, yeah. Even Mark and Carrie from Bigfoot Odyssey, they're huge too to be on the show. I mean, Mark's got some good footage. When he was on, I mean, the stuff that he gets. Even there last week, Carrie was out there. They got some thermal. I spoke to him.
Yeah, I definitely want to get those guys back too.
Mm-hmm.
We've here lately. We've had a run of really good guests, and some of the ones that I'm dying to announce. And when you texted me the other day, Anthony, when I was at the lake, we were sitting at a table at a restaurant, and I told her who you might have on the hook. She's like, on your show? Are you big enough to get somebody like that? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I am trying. I am. I mean, I've got, I've been in contact with Stacy Brown, another good researcher. Also, he makes documentaries. Good guy. You might want to tell him. Go ahead, DA. Doc is asking me, but go ahead. Okay. See, Doc, who? Yeah, you can tell him.
Who? That's awesome, dude.
We got some good people, and I'm trying. I mean, I know people are busy, and it takes them a while to reach back, when you reach out to them and stuff. So, it's a process. I know they're probably doing other shows, or they're doing their own research, or whatever.
Cryptid says DA is going to blow up and forget all the little people. If that's your chosen path, go for it. Dude, I'm a 52-year-old hillbilly from the state of Missouri, and that's all I'm ever going to be in this life. It doesn't matter whether or not the books take off wildly, that if the show suddenly became a huge success. I ain't going to change who I am. I am who I am, and nothing's ever going to change that. I came up from nothing. I mean, when I grew up on the farm, if we didn't raise it or grow it ourselves, we didn't eat it.
Exactly.
I think I was 9 or 10 before I owned a pair of blue jeans that didn't come as a hand me down from my brother. So, yeah, I remember my roots. I won't ever forget that. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what kind of success I achieve in this life. It just means that's more folks I can help.
Amen to that, brother.
I'm right there with you.
And I'm a firm believer, and I've said this many times, and Josh Jones can tell you, and Anthony and Doc can tell you. I believe that when the tide comes in, all boats should rise, not just mine.
That is correct.
Yeah. I mean, I even said that, and I didn't. I look at all these people that hit the lottery, and they take that money and they just piss it away.
Oh yeah. I've heard stories about that. They're broke in 5 years.
Yeah. Invest some of it, and I would help out everybody that I knew that needed it.
Oh yeah, all my siblings and the people that have been stood with me.
That's me
throughout because this has been a struggle. I mean, I've worked my ass off the last 10 years to try to make some success with the books.
Right.
And now my back is completely shot and it's only getting worse. I went to pain management yesterday and they dialed my meds. They're changing it because I am getting worse. There's no change in that. It's degenerative disc disease on top of spinal stenosis. I'm not going to get better. I'm only.
I have this. I got the same thing, man. I have the same.
So they've dialed in my medication, but I can tell you, when they doubled the muscle relaxers, I slept like a freaking baby last night. A fat drooling baby, but a baby nonetheless.
Yeah, they had me on Flexerol. That Flexerol is like that stuff is.
When they got you on too many muscle relaxers? When you poop yourself when you're sleeping back on a drooling baby.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I got a story about that, but don't laugh.
That happens.
Not to me, but I know somebody, and I witnessed it.
My wife woke me up at 6 a.m. to take my blood pressure medicine because I've got my alarm set to take all my blood pressure meds at the same time. And she wakes me up at 6 a.m. She's like, honey, you gonna take your meds? And I'm like,
okay.
It sounded like the last 2 minutes of Rocky.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I can contest to that, man. I've seen it firsthand. So I mean, it's not a pretty sight. Yeah,
no, for sure. But I'm glad to get your meds dialed in so you can rest better, brother. That's for sure.
Doc and I said this. Well, we were talking about this a year and a half ago. That if it does come a time when I've got to be in the permanent chair mount, we are going to trick out one of those tracked out wheelchairs so I can still get back in the woods.
Yeah, they got them. They have them with the tracks
amazing.
on them. Yeah, but they're also 100.
Have Kydex molded holsters all over that son of a gun.
They're probably $150,000. That one they had made for hunting.
Yeah, I priced them, and it's going to be in the ballpark of a car, but it's not 150,000. It's like 21.
We'll get it multicam wrapped.
There we go.
You need bulletproof glass all the way around on it with AC.
and a pintle mount for a belt fed.
I was watching the videos on that, and they were running through swamp water with those things. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, they make one for hunting out here in Florida. One of the guys had it.
When that day comes, that's what I'm going to have to get. Because I do not want to give up going out in the woods. I'm still doing it now. I mean, it takes me a lot longer to get places, and I got to walk with a cane, and I got to rest frequently. But
at least we know if we're with you. But me and Doc could probably outrun you. You're the last one. So
I'm gonna mount a turbo on that son of a gun. You guys are gonna have to grab hold and hang on.
You're like, where's DA? Oh, he's back there. I gotta get him first.
You're just going to hear that thing whining like the turbine on an M1 Abrams.
Yeah.
Was that
rooster tailing leaves behind me?
I don't know. All I saw was a vapor trail.
That's it. But I got the same thing with my back, man. From, it sucks. It does suck because I know the pain that you could be in.
Yeah.
I get
And
it.
that's why I try not to show that on my face. But if you
Mhm.
guys watch me fidget around all night, it's because
That's
my
me.
back hurts.
Even in the chair here, I'm back and
Same.
forth. I'm moving, and I got up just
Yeah,
now when I got up to get coffee. Just got up to get coffee. I was like, oh, it just hits you out of nowhere. You get that one click in your back. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, it just caught me, I mean, I know.
After jumping out of airplanes for years, VA says it's not service connected at all.
Of course,
So
neither was that 70 pounds of gear you carried on your back.
No, nothing like that.
no
No.
big deal.
Your
No.
knees are bad. Nah, it must be genetic.
Yeah.
No big deal. It's not service connected. Has
Nope,
nothing to do with you tumbling out of an aircraft and landing like a sack of poo.
Yeah, 110-pound rucksack. Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
A crushed and compressed spine has nothing to do with carrying 60 pounds of body armor and duty gear for 20
No.
years.
Yeah, when I was jumping, I weighed 172 pounds. I weigh 178 now. I'm not too far off, but 172 pounds. And I weighed myself one time after I got geared up, and I weighed 284 pounds.
It's a lot of
You
weight,
did?
man, for your structure. Yeah.
That was with
You weighed with your gear
with
on.
all my gear
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
Oh,
I had all my.
I was like, holy Jesus! They could just rolled you
Yeah.
like a beach ball.
Yeah, I had my rucksack and my weapon, helmet, parachute, reserve, everything. It was like
Good God, that's a
284
lot of
pounds.
weight on a little dude. That's a lot of weight on
Yeah.
anybody.
Yep, that's why they call it the airborne shuffle, because you're just
Yeah, when you got your
Stand
Stand
reserve.
up,
Yeah.
look up, shuffle to the door.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I weigh what? I weigh 210 pounds now. But I'm 5'8", 5'9", around there. But still, that takes a toll on you too. I should be about 180 right now.
Yeah, I need to be back in the 160s, but
Mhm.
Angie cooks too damn good, and I like my sweet tea, so whatever, and my whiskey. But yeah, I think getting out there in the woods like that, it's impressive, man. It's impressive to see folks moving around like that, and like you said, DA, you don't want to get out there and not be able to get back in a hurry.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and
If need be.
hopefully it's still years down the road. But I honestly, at this point, I don't know. It's anybody's guess. I have good days and bad days.
Mhm. I
Today
do
was
too.
not a particularly good day. We'll just leave it
Yeah.
at that. But it's not a question of if; it's just a question of when at this
Well,
point.
yeah.
But I am not going to give up going out and shooting videos. Speaking of videos, I just shot one day before yesterday
Ooh.
at Ha Ha Tonka State Park. Josh is editing it now. It should be up probably in the next few days, maybe by the weekend. That'll be on the exclusive list. That'll be on for people that are members of the YouTube channel and for people that are members of the Patreon. So it'll be up for both of those. That'll be an exclusive video, but got some really great footage around Ha Ha Tonka.
I mean, look at my uncle, man. I mean, what happened with him? It came out of the blue. This is a man that I used to go fishing with, hunting with. On the weekends, we'd drive right out to the lakes and just walk around the lakes. He's got to walk with oxygen now. And it's taking its toll on him. It's like you could see that it's pissing him off because he's always, helping me build stuff, working on cars, and he can't even really get up to, he gets up to walk to the bathroom and he's out of breath without the oxygen.
Yeah.
And they can't find, and he's retaining water, and they can't find out what is going on. That's the best. You're in a hospital for a week and a half, and they can't pinpoint why you're retaining water. But yet they can tell you, hey, you have COVID and we have a cure for it. Like, really?
Yeah.
Ever since he got that shot, and I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to be, conspiracy theorist. Ever since he got that shot, man, for the COVID, he's been having nothing but problems with his breathing.
Right.
That's the whole case. No, he said he'll be right back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's what's going on with him. And it's the same thing. He wants to get out there with me and go to church and stuff and hang out. Yeah. He can't.
Well, if I ever get down Florida way, I'm going with you. Come hell or high water.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it might hurt, but I'm still going.
Right. I just worry about him going if he wants to go. I got to carry oxygen with me, Next thing where we're going, it ain't no roads, and trying to get him out there. I know it bothers him, pisses him off. So it comes with the age, man. And he was in the military, he was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
He was one of the original grandfathers of the PJs, search and rescue. So you're talking about a man that was very active.
Speaking of that, that's what my dad did in World War II. When he was in the Army Air Corps, he was chosen because of his hand-to-hand fighting skills. He was a black belt in judo, and he was chosen to be basically the experimental precursor to the modern PJs. He spent most of World War II, his time in. I think he was in for 2 tours, but he spent most of his time in occupied France looking for downed pilots.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my uncle during Vietnam.
That's pretty cool.
Guess what I got in the mail today, Doc?
Say again.
Guess what I got in the mail today? Well, Till Valhalla Project is running that special on their tumblers, buy one get one free.
Yeah.
Well, I got this one today, and another one that says Till Till Valhalla on it. It's a picture of Viking.
Oh, heck yeah.
Cool.
But I got this one today, and of course I got the mate to it. I'll have that one on me. I'll drink from that one on Saturday. But yeah, I got a pair of those tumblers, and if y'all go to Till Valhalla Project or go to Till Valhalla Project on YouTube. I'm not on YouTube, on Facebook. They have ads on their Facebook page. You click on it, and you can get those thermal tumblers. Buy one get one free, and it's a great deal. And
yeah,
I'll look that up.
The profits from those go to veterans charities. They go to the 22 a Day project. They do a lot with veterans charities.
Nice.
So I've got several. I've actually got 2 or 3 of their T-shirts. I got a couple of their mugs. I've got my law enforcement bracelet that I wear all the time. I just sent one of these bracelets and a T-shirt to Josh Jones as a way of saying thanks for all the work he's been doing here lately.
Yeah, speaking of that, hold on. Speaking of thanks, I don't know if Doc knows. Hold on, I got to get something.
Lenita says pain meds help to numb your brain, not the pain. I'm right there with you. I have been very, very critical with my pain management people that I will not take the step up to narcotics because I do not want anything. I'm a writer. I can't have anything that takes me out of being mentally unsharp.
That's right.
So I refuse to make that bridge. I would rather be in pain. What's the phrase from that song? I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all.
Right.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Speaking of gifts, this is what DA sent me. This is the coolest thing anybody's ever sent me. It's a scallywag.
Heck yeah.
I mean, that was nice, man. I love this blade. I mean, love this blade. Yeah.
That's a nice blade.
I retired my other knife. So
those are on sale right now. You can get those on Scallywag for like $35.
Yeah, that thing is sharp as hell.
That thing holds an edge like no other blade. It is intense. I don't want to nick an artery, but I could shave hair off my arm with it.
Yeah, I already got myself with it.
Man down.
Yeah, and I've had bench maids. I've had other knives. Carrying this thing, super stout, man, and sharp. I mean, I couldn't believe it. So
yeah, those things are
Scallywag.
Nice.
I've got a care package on the way from them that's going to have some patches and some other things to give away, a couple of hats.
Did you talk to him?
Yes, I did. He sent me some blades. These are to show off on. I'm not going to do a giveaway for these. These are mine. But he sent me a couple of blades. I'm going to show them off on the air, and I'm going to start doing reviews of their blades. They sent me this one. It's called the Kitchen Slicer. It's a kitchen knife, and
that's nice.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Wow,
and it is wicked sharp.
Is that Damascus? What is that?
Yeah, it's Damascus steel, and you can see the Scallywag logo on the blade. And they also sent me this one, which I've been wanting for a long time. It's called the Dew Claw.
Yeah.
It's a 1/4 inch thick.
Oh,
it's a chopping blade. I'm telling you, this thing was so sharp straight out of the box. Comes with a molded Kydex sheath. This one is made for like chopping. Like if you're a hunter, if you're wanting to separate that shoulder joint, that's how you do it. This is a chopping blade. It is a heavy duty blade, full tang all the way through. It's got a really raspy handle, so if you get it wet or whatever, if your hand's slick, it's not going to come loose. But this rascal is made for chopping.
I like that.
It is
I like that one
tactical.
I got that one tactical knife I'd like to get my hands on. That one nice one that showed me DA.
Oh, they've got some beautiful blades.
Yeah, that thing is nuts. I know I'm happy with my knife. I know that thing is that stout, no doubt.
Yeah, that thing will take a beating.
Yeah, it's sharp. I can tell you that. It will cut.
And Scallywag's blades, it's not like if you want to go to Walmart and buy a $12 pocket knife, that's perfectly fine. I've done that half of my life because I've take it out in the woods with me or go fishing, and God forbid I drop it in the water, bloop, it's gone. You don't really care. But if you want a high quality knife, that's Scallywag. Those knives, you keep them sharp, you take care of them, that knife will be with you forever.
Mm-hmm.
These knives are made to last.
Yeah, those are legit knives for sure.
Yeah, they've got I'll bring that kitchen one back up. They've got an entire set of kitchen knives that have handles like this, and they are just absolutely astounding. I'm going to get the rest of the set eventually, but I wanted to show this one off before I took it in and start cutting up tomatoes and onions and stuff with it.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Beautiful knives.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, their kitchen knife set is just...
I seen it. I was looking at them online, that kitchen that site. Their knives are just... Then he has that one that looks like a sword. What is that one? The one that's in the book.
Oh, are you...
You don't tell me. You got it?
Talking about this one?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
It's called the Bounty.
I like that. Wow.
And
that reminds me.
The handle is designed to be held. And it's got the slightly curved taper blade.
That reminds me of like a Spartan blade.
Yeah, it's a limb lopper.
Yeah.
And it holds an edge like nothing. I mean,
I imagine.
I've already been putting all of my blades to the test, and I'm pretty impressed with the quality of the Scallywag blades.
Oh, even this.
I like those.
Even the pocket knife, man. I mean, how can you beat? It's like Doc knows. Even a good Benchmade knife is going to cost you $200
easily. I'm dropping crap left and right.
Yeah, I can see that. Something thrown at you. Yeah, the hat.
My green screen's going to render part of this out.
No, I see it.
This is the boarding axe, and it is quite the little beast. And if you look at the side of it, look how thick the steel is on it.
Good Lord.
And that's a
this
full
is
tank.
A heavy piece of steel in your hands.
Yeah.
It's got to be every bit of a half-inch thick.
Yeah, that's like my Winkler.
Mm-hmm. That Sayok Tomahawk?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like my other one that I have, that other Tomahawk. It's made by Tomahawk. Is this. Mm-hmm. I was showing him that the other day.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's made by Tomahawk.
Nice
this
blade.
this thing's been out sharp as hell. I mean, I can't dull the blade on it. That's the crazy part. Stuck hogs with it.
Werewolf 5674 says he wants a gunner's mate. Let me dig mine out real quick.
He's got the whole product line.
Not all of them. No, I don't have all of them. But I've got quite a few, and they're an investment, but they're worth it. This is the gunner's mate. Here's the sheath.
That's the one.
Sheath.
That's the one I want. That's the tactical one I was talking about. That's the one I was wanting to get.
Look how thick that blade is.
Yeah.
Full tang. Yep. Easily a 1/4 inch thick. This is hardened steel. This thing holds an edge like nothing else. And it is just...
Yeah, that would go on my side out in the woods when I go out. Mm-hmm. Right there.
Ellen says, DA, why do you have knives at the ready? Because I live in Missouri, and you just never know what's going to pop up.
Yeah. Everything is Florida, buddy.
I've got a few other things that go boom very close
I got
by
stuff.
too, but they don't,
I got
YouTube
stuff.
doesn't like us showing those
Yeah,
on
me
the air.
either. I got one right next to me on the desk that you don't want to see. Doc's
Yeah,
got
well,
them too.
It's not that I don't. It's YouTube's got certain rules
Exactly.
and conditions about those being on screen,
Maybe.
and I don't wish to become in the bad graces of YouTube.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'll never get that. Never get that. But anyway.
And I'm telling you, I can't say enough about the good folks over at Scallywag Tactical. It's veteran owned. They're just a great group of people over there.
Good people.
Mm-hmm. Craig, the owner, just an awesome guy. Fantastic dude to talk to.
What is he? Former SEAL?
I know he's former Navy. I don't know if he was a SEAL. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to ask him. But he's a very solid dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this. This thing is just, I mean,
yeah,
it's so stout. It's like, like I said, I just said to Doc before, Benchmade and the other companies out there, you're paying $200 for a knife that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, Benchmade's a good knife, but it's not going to hold an edge. And they're not even this size.
Well, right now you can get this one on scallywagtactical.com for about $35.
Right, and that's a good deal, and that's not, for this.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking quality. This is like a $200 knife, man. The quality of it.
That model is called, I think it's a Jolly Roger.
I think that's what it's called. I think it's a Jolly Roger.
Yeah. I mean, you got it in your hand when you pull it out, even when you're wearing it. Some of those other ones that you buy, they're like, this big, that's good to carry, but still. Mm-hmm. This thing, you pull it out, it. It's like you got a mini friggin' K-bar in your hand here. I mean, look at that. That thing is just stout.
I mean, I got to show y'all one of mine.
Awesome.
This is that's that little Sayak.
Oh, that's
tomahawk.
A beauty.
And that's how thick the
holy moly
the blade is. And that goes all the way down. So, and that sucker is sharp enough to take hair off.
I want one of those. I want one of those pretty bad. I've mentioned those in the books.
Yeah, you have.
Gray Eagle carries one. Nice karambit.
Thank you. This is from Angel Fire Knives. And
nice.
Really, really nice little blade. So
I like karambits.
Yeah, those are nice to carry.
Better get a trainer. Get you a trainer. You'll get the karambit kiss on your arm.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, good knife is a good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, I got
one. Says the topic right now is blades.
Topic? What's the topic?
We don't need no stinking.
We don't need a stinking topic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little carried away. I'm just very excited because the guys over at Scallywag have been a huge supporter of the channel, and I've used their products for years in the books, mentioned them, and in some of the cases, the knives that, and the reason why I talk about like for example the gunner's mate is if I'm typing out a scene, I will literally hold the knife in my hand and try to mimic the motions of how they're dealing with it. So to have that tactile sensation really adds a lot of level of detail that I wouldn't normally have. But then they are just fantastic blades. I mean, whenever I go out, I've got at least one on me.
Yeah,
I agree.
Usually three.
Oh, so did they ever say what happened to the other care package? Did you ever get to talk to them?
UPS investigated it, and they made no admission of wrongdoing, but I guarantee you they delivered it to the wrong house, or the driver kept it because it did not show up on the house. Because I have, if anybody's seen my author page Facebook post, I have Harley the alarm system. So if anybody even sets a package, not even knocks, just sets a package, He's
Right.
and because of my back, I can't sleep in a normal bed anymore. I sleep in on my recliner. That's about the only place I can sleep. So I'm in the living room. So there's no way they knocked and delivered it and I didn't hear them.
Exactly.
Because I sleep so fitfully anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Northwood says, I need to find someone who can make a bot lift for me that won't cost an arm and a leg. I may have an outlet for you. Let me look at my notes. I know somebody. I might know a guy.
What is it?
Doc.
What does he need
A
it?
bot lift from Star Trek, those curved, the Klingon swords.
Oh, one of them.
I might know a guy. Look and see if I missed any.
Well, I'm going to run and go get coffee, so excuse me, gentlemen.
Marshall, so this is DA. That's okay. Ellen loves your knives. Well, that's awesome. Dude, go ahead and grab some coffee. Me and Doc will keep things afloating.
Oh yeah.
We are gonna on the 16th, a week from Saturday, we're gonna be doing a show on what they refer to as not deer. It's a cryptid sighting that was seen a lot in Appalachia, but they're now being seen in other places, including as far away as Norway. It's just a really creepy story. So you might, if you guys are not familiar with not deer, you can find a few YouTube channels that have done shows on them. But we're going to go a little more in depth on these and the possible connections and in lore. So that's coming up. We've also got some really good guests coming up in the very near future. I think you guys are going to be pretty happy. Thanks to Anthony, who's been kind of taken on the task of finding us people to book on the show. He's got some really good names that are already on the hook, and then others that are have not confirmed yet. But we might have some names that you are going to know immediately when you hear them. So, and that's just the icing on the cake. And the growth of this channel we're not even a year old yet. We won't be a year old till May. And I just thank each and every one of you guys, because it's been all of y'all who've helped us grow to where we are, and I can't wait to see where we are a year from now. I think we're going to keep right on growing, and that's all you folks. I really appreciate each and every one of you.
Amen.
So I appreciate all the love and support we've had on the channel and with the books, and we're going to keep going and see where this takes us. It's something I plan to do as long as I'm able. John Abrams says, Quinn, you put a link or name of the Tumblr? Yeah, let me go over to my YouTube page. Not my YouTube, my Facebook. If you go to the Till Valhalla project on Facebook, let me find the link and I will post it. Because they've got a buy one, get one right now on those tumblers. I just got to find the ad. Sorry.
No, they make some good stuff, and like you said, all the proceeds go to various projects. One of those being the 22 a day
22
project.
a day. I've got a wristband over here somewhere from 22 a day. It's one of those silicone gel wristbands. I don't wear those very often, but
yeah, the only thing I wear on my right wrist is my little bracelet my daughter and I made when she was just turning 14, and then my bracelet to one of my best friends that died in 2008.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they've got memorial bands and all kinds of T-shirts on there. Sorry, I'm still trying to find that. Anthony's uncle is watching us tonight. I know he just recently got out of the hospital. He was a guest on the show, John Allen. John, I hope you're doing well. Have to get you back on the show when you get to feeling better. We definitely miss talking to you, and we'll be praying for you, sir. Hope you get to feeling better real soon.
Yep, get back on your feet real soon, John. We need you.
I know this is on here. God dang it.
Dadgummit, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
Yeah, I got my tumblers from my buddies down in Texas. So it's got their logo on there from Bliss in Bryan, Texas. Galatians 6:9. That's their little credo they go by. Do not grow weary of doing good. And then got my little tumbler right there. So
Nice.
well, Miss Lanita, you contact me about a kit, sugar. We'll get you squared away. Anthony, you back, brother? I think you got your mic muted.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, it takes a minute. I don't know why. Every time I am on with the show, it takes forever. I don't know why it does that. I got to get me a better. I got to get a tower instead of a laptop to get this thing rolling. Invest in a good tower and stuff.
Yeah, DA's looking for the link of that Tumblr he's got in the Valhalla project.
Yeah, I walked out to get coffee. And my uncle's like, "I'm watching the show." I'm like, "Okay," because I know he wasn't feeling good earlier. He was sleeping. He's been up and down with this bullshit breathing thing that's been going on with him. I'm just worried. So
I hear you, man.
All right, if anybody's interested in those tumblers, I just posted the link. That'll take you straight to their page. And the code you want to use is the word tumblers in all caps. And that will get you buy one, get one. Just put that in at checkout. Pick out 2 of those tumblers that you like. There's even an option, I believe, to have one engraved personalize it. But I picked out a couple of really good ones. I didn't have any of them personalized, but yeah,
they got military logo ones you could put on there. Or no?
Oh yeah. Those got veteran ones, and they got law enforcement ones, and just there's some really good ones. There's ones about some all gave some gave all. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's probably 100 different types of tumblers on there. The 22 a day project, they've got those on there. I just really got fantastic stuff.
I bought him for Christmas. Brought the logo and shirt. Well, he bought the one for his hat, the one for the PJs, and got him a couple of I got him a shirt that I ordered through the PJ Project Association.
Nice.
Yeah, I got him that and stuff, and he's got a bunch of stuff. I'd like to get him some other stuff, maybe a nice coffee mug or something. He drinks coffee like crazy like us, so, Yeah, I got one of your, actually, DA sent me one of your stickers for the truck, Doc. I got it. I got 2 of them. He sent me one of those. Yeah.
I'm about to get some more hats in, so I'll square you away with a couple of lids as well.
Cool.
So I think we're getting some new T-shirts coming in. I think they got delivered this evening. They might be out on the damn front porch. I don't know. I got to go check it out. It's supposed to rain. So
yeah, I seen Steve. Steve had one on last week.
No, I don't want those getting wet. Yeah, Steve was wearing one. I gotta get y'all fixed up with some shirts.
Those are nice too.
I've got a couple of Dark Angel medical shirts. Those are awesome.
Yeah, just a couple of them.
Just a couple.
Yeah, they're pretty comfortable
and durable. I mean, those the material that you make, especially the black ones that have the big logo on the back. It's like that moisture wicking material.
Yeah.
Man, I can't tell you how long I wore those under my body armor.
Yeah.
You have those, Doc? You have like the body armor type ones?
Yeah. Well, what size do you wear?
Me, a large.
Okay. Yeah. Let me look at the shop, because some of those we stopped selling because we ran out.
Well, I may have a couple. I'll tell you what, an extra large. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
I'm not going to say large.
Yeah, that's what my brother, my oldest brother Carly wears. He wears a large, but he typically wears an extra large because if he's carrying concealed, he don't want to print.
That's what I want to do too.
So that's what.
Plus, I'll give one. I'll let my uncle have it, because he likes his stuff. He wears that. He struts his stuff out. He's got the hats. I got him and stuff.
Yeah, man.
He struts it out.
I'll fix you up. we're supposed to be getting those back on the site hopefully this next week. So once everything comes in.
Do you,
Yeah, I
do you
gotta-
want to give the news, Doc?
Say again?
You want to give the news about
Oh.
certain patches?
Don't tell me he's got them.
The patch prototype you sent me, the image.
I will give the news. I'll be happy to give the news.
Yeah, it's all you, brother. So
I'm gonna show we got the patch proof done finally. It's only taken us, several months, but we finally got it done. And this is it's going to be all done in PVC. They're working on them right now. My patch guy at Combat Swag, my buddy John McConnell, he's making these up for us, and I sent him all the proofs and everything. And this is the final proof of concept, and I approved it. Sent it to DA. He approved it, and
Oh, that's nice.
they're going to be coming in soon. I'll be sending them to DA.
That's
and,
nice.
Of course, I'm taking the first one out of there, but
Yeah.
but they're going to be 3 inches in diameter with the T-Modin rocker on there.
Nice.
It's all one piece. We
All
talked
one
about
piece.
doing a separate piece as the T-Modin rocker, but cost-wise, it was just smarter just to make it all one
Yep.
piece.
Yep. So those should be coming in.
So Velcro ready, right?
Yeah, those Velcro
Okay.
on the back, so just
Right.
go right on. So yeah, those will be coming out very shortly. So can Josh? Do you think Josh can put those up on a merch store? Or
Yeah.
okay,
Well, since they're not available through Teespring, then we'll probably have to put them up on the website and they could order them direct.
there you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can't wait till those come in. I'm really excited about seeing those
Cool.
in
Those are
person.
cool.
Mondoc,
it took a while.
Mondoc 40 in research says he's about to kick out for the night. He says, thanks all. And Marshall, I'm a correctional officer in a minimum security level prison, small county jail. DA's jail was larger than the prison side of our facility. Yeah, we held the place was designed for 500, but there were times I saw it at 1,100. Yeah, it was, and they're building an even bigger one now. And all I can say is, thank God I don't work there anymore.
I bet, dude. I bet. Be careful, Mondoc.
Rather be safe. Watch your back. Keep your head on
Sure.
a swivel.
Literally.
Tell you the same thing that my buddy Andy who used to tell me: watch their eyes, watch their hands, and watch that waistband.
Absolutely.
What most people don't realize is that the decision to hurt you is in the eyes before it's ever in the hand. If you're paying attention, you can see that decision in the eyes.
100%.
Something else I was wanting to bring up. There's a place down in Arkansas. You guys know, you've heard me talk about Eureka Springs before.
Mhm.
On the other side of Eureka Springs, I think it's about 20 miles. There's a state park called War Eagle State Park, and I heard a Bigfoot account that came out of there here recently. And what it was is there were two people riding horseback on one of the trails, and they said that they described it as either being dirty white or gray, 8-foot creature with a pronounced snout charged them out of the trees and chased them off on horseback. The horses almost threw them. So I want to go down there and see if I can find that spot and film. I tried to get down to Douglas County to film where the knife dogs, the Ozark vampire beast was at, and I could not find a specific location in Douglas County that was good for filming. And there's a reason we call it Booger County. So we didn't really hang around and ask locals because it's not a tourist destination, and it's not exactly civilization as most people understand the word. So we didn't stick around too much. So I didn't end up filming down in Douglas County, but I did get a really good video at Ha Ha Tonka a couple of days ago, and that one should be up.
I'm going to grab my phone. My phone's
Cool.
going off.
Any new accounts coming up in your neck of the woods, Dot?
Nothing that I've heard. I've been scouring the Bigfoot sightings out here, and any kind of dog men, Wendigo, anything like that. Hadn't seen anything last one was up, like I said, up near Fairplay. That's right up 285 from us. It's a couple hours from here, but you come out and we can go up in that area. I know that area fairly well. I used to go camping out there a lot years back, but definitely some pretty dense forest out there. But we could take my truck up there and we'll get in there no problem.
Well, the reason I asked is I remember you said your brother had a story that I was looking forward to hearing sometime. Hopefully, you can talk him into coming up and talking about it.
I know.
I'd love to have him come on.
I was telling him, I said, man, you should tell people about this. And it's the same old story we always get.
A lot of people, they just don't want to be thought they're crazy or something like that.
Am I going to have patients that see me and will think I'm some kind of nut job? I said, well, dude, they're not going to think they're a nut job. They're here. I mean, they're here and they believe in it as well. And that's the reason they're wanting to get some information. But yeah, that happened down in the Gulf Coast area. And, when Connor was on, he was talking about some of the stuff down there. And, my brothers used to go hunting down in the Honey Island swamp and we down there with our grandfather years ago. And they got the Honey Island swamp monster and they got the skunk apes and everything down there. So I'm trying to convince him. Brother. So
that would be awesome.
See if we can get him on one evening to talk about it. It was a short little encounter, but it put an indelible mark on him, I believe, for sure.
No, it does. People, there's some people, some accounts that I've heard. There's been a lot of researchers say they liken people having Bigfoot experiences to, and I'm not trying to make light of anybody because, well, I won't get into that. But I'm not trying to make a light of anybody that's experienced PTSD. But they liken Bigfoot experiences to a PTSD experience.
Absolutely.
Because it leaves such an indelible mark on some people. I know guys that grew up deer hunting, grew up in and out of the woods, had an experience, and they were done. I know one guy just straight up sold his hunting gear. Said he's never stepping foot in the woods again.
Well, it's different. It's different when you're the predator, but then you become possibly the prey. And I think that gives people a total paradigm shift in their beliefs, and they're like, man, I'm not the only thing out here that is top of the food chain. So it's definitely something. I think it put a mark on him, and he didn't talk about it. I mean, like that night you and I talked, he was talking about it, and that's the first time he had talked to anybody about it in a decade almost. So that's a long time to keep that stuff to your close to the sleeve, as it were, close to the cuff. But it's definitely something I think we could get on. I wouldn't mind going down there and just looking around. Take my thermal scope and my night vision, turn the IR off because we've already talked about the infrared. So just run something purely thermal and see if anything can get picked up.
And I think without using the IR, I think you got a much better chance of picking something up. And I can't wait to get out and use those new binoculars with the
I know, man.
With the digital camera on it, because that's going to be great for like getting distant shots. Because I usually use my cell phone when I'm taking pictures out in places, and it's even though I've got a really good camera on my cell phone, it just doesn't have a zoom worth of crap. But having a digital camera built into binoculars going to be awesome.
Well, and that's something when I come to see you, I'll have that thermal scope, and I've got it slaved to my phone, and so we can take footage and photos and everything with it as we're scanning, which will be a big win, I think, as well. And the thing about night vision, the night vision I've got, it's Gen 4, and so it's I don't know how a cryptid would look, but I know like doing pig hunting, the pigs they're like they're black.
They stand out. I know.
They stand out amongst everything. You get that grainy gray or that grainy green, and it pops right there. So I'm wondering how something like that would look, how it would show up.
I got to get one when I get back on my feet. There's a lot of things I got to get. So that's one of them. One of it. Jason just texted me from the show that was on the show tonight. He says it was great. You guys are a blast. Maybe one day I'd like to go out with you as an investigate. So I
Heck
put
yeah.
any time. But he enjoyed it. He enjoyed being on the show and stuff. So that was a good.
Yeah.
That too is
Well,
my phone was blowing up. I was like, who's texting me?
Yeah.
To borrow a phrase from a very wise gentleman I know, I'm down like 4 flat tires.
Like a fat kid on a seesaw.
Yeah.
For sure. Now that would be a road trip right there for sure.
And my uncle already said that he'd go out. I don't know if he I don't think he's putting in. Did he put it in the comments? I don't think so. I think he was on Facebook when he did it, and it didn't show up. So
I've seen a few of his comments and replied to him.
Okay, as he already said, he goes, "I'll go out." So yeah, I'm gonna have to rig up like a rig, something you can wear with an oxygen tank or something. No offense, Unc. He's watching right now. No offense. I just don't want you, whoop, on me when I'm out in the woods. So.
I'm going even if I got to drag myself like
Right.
Ivar the Boneless on Vikings.
Oh man.
Yeah, we took him. I never forget it, man. We took him. I don't know if he's going to get mad, but I'll say it. I apologize. We took him to this. It's called 6 Gun Plaza shoot thing. They have that reenact the cowboy action stuff, and he was in the hospital the first time, and I see what he said, and they couldn't pick a worse day to go. It was cold out, it was chilly, and he just got over pneumonia, and I'm pushing him around in this wheelchair, and you know him, he doesn't want to be in a wheelchair. He's like, all right, but try to push him through the dirt in this thing. I was like, this is unbelievable. It's like we had a good time. It was, nothing special, but I mean, even he was like, I shouldn't have went. I mean, needs to get out of the house, and he enjoys getting out. Like I said, we fish, used to fish a lot and stuff. So I got to get him out there. I got to get him out there and doing things with me and stuff. And
my wife and I were just talking with our boys today about getting the fishing gear together and taking our boys up to Tonka State Park and spending a day fishing and messing around on those trails up there. One other thing I want to be able to get is at some point I want to be able to get a drone so I can get in and film closer to areas I can't get to anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like I said, big. He used to love to fish, love to get out. Who took what? Who took who fishing? He did. He take me. He's got some good spots. He does. I give him that.
Awesome. I've got a lot of memories fishing up near Tonka, both with my dad and with my Uncle Owen, who passed away. But yeah, there's a lot of good memories up there fishing. And there's actually right up there by Tonka State Park, like 10 years ago or so, there's a dude hooked and caught a piranha, and he showed it to his Department of Natural Resources. Like, what kind of fish is this? I've never caught one like that. And they're like, well, let's look at it. And they identified it as a piranha. They think somebody released it into Lake of the Ozarks. And of course, they said come wintertime it was going to die because there's no way it could survive an Ozarks winter because they're tropical fish. But in the summertime, the water was just warm enough that it was still swimming around there. We don't know how many they released, but we know a fisherman caught one.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff, man. Weird stuff.
I don't get people. Apparently, somebody a few years ago released an alligator into Lake Taneycomo.
What?
And yeah, there was people snapping pictures of it. It was about a 4-foot alligator. It was in Lake Taneycomo, and then that suddenly it stopped being seen. So I don't know if one of the local rednecks decided to have him some alligator on the barbecue, or if the weather got it. But people got pictures of it several times right there, just down from Branson on Lake Taneycomo. And my guess is somebody was like, "I'll fix you."
Yeah.
There ain't no laws in Missouri says when I can hunt you.
That's right.
I'll never forget. We took. He just had his uncle. We took him hog hunting. He just had shoulder surgery, and I went up to Alabama to my buddy's place, and we had catch dogs and stuff. We're tromping through and I mean, he's maybe a week out of surgery, rotator cuff. And we actually get on the trail of these hogs and hand them the pit bulls on the leads. Big mistake, because these things are grabbing you and rubbing them, trying to push them through the thing. He gets so mad, he wraps them around the tree and leaves them there. He just takes the leads and just, all right, I'm done. I mean, just got out of shoulders all swelled up. He's like, the hell with you. But they left me out there. They left me out there. In the water with the live hog. I got my knee on this hog. And he goes, oh, we're going to go get the truck. They're watching me from the truck, and it was cold that night. And I'm in the middle of the swamp at night with this friggin' hog, and they're sitting in the truck warming themselves up, and I'm out there. I'm like, really? That's how he got back at me. He's like, I'll fix your ass. Yeah, left me out there with a hog. Hog must have been about 200 pounds.
Werewolf 5674 says, I have an old Starlight scope. It just amplifies environmental light. I'd like to have one of those.
Wow.
Those old Starlight scopes work really well. Christian Arredondo says, here in Texas, we have gators, even in the Rio Grande from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like gators. I'm not a big fan of anything that can eat me.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And Wisconsin says, DA heads up for y'all. In areas you believe Bigfoot is, check Google Earth. The day they update new pics, often there are Bigfoot-shaped cutouts. Within 48 hours, they are masked out. Huh. Oh. Why does that not surprise me?
I'll be damned.
What? What?
Hey, your Uncle John says, we sat in that warm truck watching you for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I told you. What did I say? That's what he did. Laughing their asses off, man.
That's awesome.
I was cold as hell, too.
That's awesome.
I'll never forget that.
I remember one time I went camping with my dad and my Uncle Owen up on Lake Pomme de Terre here in Missouri. And we went out fishing on the lake, and we did pretty good. We had quite a few fish. And my Uncle Owen goes, Douglas, why don't you clean the fish? I'm like, all right. Yeah. I got my filleting knife out, and I was sitting down there, and I'd clean a fish, and rinse the guts out and dump the guts in a bucket, set the fillets over in this little pan, and he'd take them away, and he'd bring back more fish. Well, before long, I'm like, God dang, how many fish did we catch? I'm still cleaning fish, and I've probably cleaned 20 fish at this point, and I'm like, I don't think we caught this many. That unreal fart was going to every fisherman within walking distance of our campground. Hey, you guys want your fish clean? Bring them on down.
I got somebody that'll do it, right?
I must have cleaned 60 fish that day. I'm like, God dang it.
That's ingenious.
I was out there for hours, but I had a bucket full of guts. The raccoons ate good that night.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
And he's like, hey, don't clean your fish. My nephew's over here cleaning them. Bring them all over here. Unreal.
No mercy.
That's the kind of thing you miss if you didn't spend a lot of time doing stuff like that. He was ornery, but it was a lot of fun, and it's memories like that I have of growing up in and around the woods, going to the lakes, and even when it didn't catch a dang thing, we still had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I went fishing with Uncle Owen one time up near Montreal, Missouri, and I'd lived down in New Mexico for a while, and we learned down there real quick that if the snake didn't rattle, it wasn't going to hurt you. So I was catching king snakes and all kinds of snakes down there, just having fun. Well, I'm sitting on a rock, bank fishing on Lake of the Ozarks near just outside of Montreal, Missouri, and I see this snake swimming up out of the water. So I'm like, okay. And I pinned his head down with my fishing pole and grabbed it and picked it up. And I went walking over to him. I'm like, hey, Uncle Owen, what kind of snake is this? He goes, that's a water moccasin, moron. It'll kill you if you get a hold of it. So I reared back and chucked that thing way out in the water, and I ain't caught a snake since.
Yeah.
Like, well, you mean this thing's poisonous? He's like, hell yeah, it'll kill you if it gets a hold of you.
Oh, yeah.
You can't pick that crap up around here. Marshall Sorotis says, be right back. My dog says now. Sounds like Harley. When Harley's awesome, though. I mean, when he's ready to come back in the house, the little idiot will knock on the door. You can literally hear him dunk, dunk, dunk. Headbutts the door 2 or 3 times. He's ready to come in.
Ranger does the same thing.
It's like mine.
Look at you like you're a moron. I don't have thumbs, dude.
That's my uncle's dog. My uncle's pit does the same thing. He closes the door, he hits it. Boom, 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 boom. Or he sits by it and whines. Yeah.
I remember one night I went to let Harley out and it was raining to beat hell. And I opened the door off the back porch and he looks out and sticks his nose out a little bit, then looks up and looks at me like, screw it, I'm shitting in the house tonight.
Yeah.
I ain't going out there.
That's
And
Yeah.
he did. He just turned around and bipped right back down. I was like, nope, not doing it.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
It's weird, man. Like some dogs can pick up. It's just funny that they just can sense it. Like you think somebody's good, you know, like oh, this guy's a good guy. I've seen my uncle's dog just actually bow up to people, and you're like, why is he doing this? You know, like he just, and you come to find out that they're not good in the near future, and this dog sensed it like that right away. I've seen him do it with the bro. He runs out to the UPS lady, runs out to her, and she's got dog treats, and she hands him dog treats. You know, even when the cops, you know, my uncle's his daughter's was married to a cop. He's retired now. Even when he would show up or other cops would come around, say, throw the ball for me. He'd bring the ball to him. You know, it's like that's how he is.
Blue Cruise says, every time I hear the word Montreal, Canada comes to mind. Well, it probably wouldn't change your opinion because Montreal is not really a town. It's in what we refer to in Missouri as a poke and plumb town. You poke your head out the window and you're plumb through it. It is not a very big town.
It's like where I live, Ocklawaha. You blink and you miss it.
Lisa Smith's got a good comment. Says, yeah, they look at you like you poop out in the rain.
That's true.
It's true.
It sounds like Harley.
Very true.
Well, boys, we are coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. We've been on topic, then got off topic, then got on topic, then got off topic.
Yep.
I think we'll go ahead and start wrapping things up. Folks, I appreciate you guys all being here tonight. We've had a great time. Jason Kenzie is a fantastic guest, and we are definitely going to have him back on. I posted the link to his YouTube channel a couple of times in the chat, and you guys check that out. Make sure you give him a like and subscribe. Anthony, who have we got on Wednesday?
I think it's is it Todd?
Let me get over to my calendar.
Sure. Let me look. No, Marie.
Saturday the 9th.
Sorry.
This Saturday the 9th, we'll have Todd Neese. And then on the 13th, we are going to have the guys from the Olympic Bigfoot Project out in Washington State. So we're going to have some really good ones lined up. On the 16th will be what we refer to as not deer, which are really creepy cryptid. And then on the 20th, we're going to have Jessica Jones from the Cryptid Huntress. She's going to be joining us. So that's what we got coming up for you guys in the next few weeks, the next week or so. And we're going to have a lot more to announce in the coming days. Anthony has really been kicking it out of the park. He's batting 1,000, getting us some really good guests. So we're definitely going to have more to announce in the coming days.
I'm a trying.
Jason was an awesome guest. We got to get him back on. Hope you guys enjoyed having him on there, and him bringing a wildlife photographer perspective to the field is really something I think is awesome. Because like we were all saying, he's already experienced in tracking wildlife. He came into the game much farther ahead than most of us ever did, and that's why I think he's got some of the results he has. And finding a trackway that had hundreds of prints in it is amazing.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Some people will go half their career without finding a good identifiable track, let alone a trackway with hundreds of footprints in it. That's pretty freaking awesome. So you guys definitely check out his Searching for Sasquatch videos. I think you guys are going to really get a kick out of those. Again, we got some good shows coming up for you here in the very near future. And also another quick shameless plug before we go here. remember, if you're going to be doing any of this stuff, going out looking for cryptids, if you're going fishing, hunting, hiking, camping, anything you're going to be doing when you're away from basic services, take a medical kit. And I can't recommend any kit better than the kits from Doc over here at Dark Angel Medical.
Appreciate you, brother.
They've saved a lot of lives with their kits. They've got the kit for life guarantee. If you ever use your kit to save a life, including your own, they will restock the kit for free. They are the best kits I ever carried, and I trusted my life to them for years and years in uniform, and I will continue to do so now. I keep one of their kits in my car, and I've got an everyday carry kit that I carry when I'm just everyday carry.
There you go.
If you're going to conceal carry a med kit, because odds are really good you're going to need the med kit more than the firearm.
Amen.
And also, let me put that up real fast. Where is it? Oh, there. Yeah, it's right there. Funny that I had that right there. If you go to darkangelmedical.com, you can use discount code Cryptid25 for 25% for your entire order. And if you put the words Team Odin or Codename Wild Hunt in the notes of your order, Doc will throw in one of those little Team Odin rockers that goes on the spear kit. I would show you my spear kit, but it's actually out in the car with my go bag because I put it out in the car because I took a whole bunch of equipment with me when we went to film the other day. So I can't show it off. It's out in the car. Also, big thank you to Carrie for getting those Team Odin patches done. Those look freaking awesome. I can't wait to get those in hand.
Heck yeah.
And we'll be talking more about those once those are in stock. But we've got a lot of great stuff in the works, folks. And if you haven't had a chance to become a member of the channel on YouTube, it's right down next to the subscribe button. You can hit that join button. There's a couple of levels you can join, and you can get access to exclusive video content, including the new Ha Ha Tonka video, which should go up in a few days. Also, if you're interested in helping shape the future of the books in the DA verse, you can become a member of the Patreon community at patreon.com/DARobertsauthor. And there are multiple tiers which you can join, and it will get you different levels of access to advanced news and advanced copies, well, not necessarily copies, that's not the word, advanced looks at covers and even input on some of the covers. So there's a lot of ways you can help shape the future of the DA verse, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. We have come a long way in a very short amount of time. This channel is only 10 months old, and we are growing, and that's all because of all y'all. Thank you guys so much. Doc, Anthony, you guys have been instrumental. Josh and Steve aren't with us tonight, and Naoma when she was with us. You guys were all hugely instrumental in the growth of this. And we've got. I've said it before. I'll say it again. We don't have fans. We have friends. And this is just like hanging around with a bunch of friends talking about Bigfoot, and occasionally we stay on topic and talk about knives and medical kits and crazy crap we did in the woods when we were young. And it's just a good time. I enjoy talking to everybody and laughing at Doc's euphemisms, because I never know what's going to come out of that guy's mouth. He cracks me up constantly.
Hell, I don't either. Half the time it just comes out. I don't know what happens.
If you weren't already in a character in the book, you'd be Margolin.
Well, that's a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment.
I was talking to my buddy Norm the other day, and I've got a new short story idea that I'm going to work on kind of as a side project. It's going to be called Demons, and it's going to go into Margolin's past.
Oh, heck yeah.
And it's really going to delve in and past and current timeline. So it's going to be primarily about Margolin, and there'll be some familiar faces in it. Not all of them from Team Wild Hunt, Team Odin. Not all of them will be from there. So awesome. I think it's going to be an interesting short story. I think you guys will like it, and we'll make sure to get Cam Buckner to narrate that one too.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure he'll get a kick.
He's good at that. He's real good.
He's real good. He's getting close to being done with the next installment of Codename Wild Hunt, which is going to be Curse of the Wendigo. I can't wait for that one to come out. He's very close to being done with it. I'll have more information to release as he gets it to me. Sal Passos who's been doing the audiobook of the sci-fi series, is really cranking through the second of the sci-fi series. And he's doing a great job. You're really going to like those. Doc is probably going to be taking over here very soon. He's working on building a studio so he can start doing audiobooks. And we're going to have Doc narrating the Nightmare Hunter series. And he is probably also going to get, which one was it, Doc? We talked about 2 series.
I know.
Oh, yeah, Lakeview Man.
Lakeview Man.
That's it.
Yeah, Doc's going to be taking over doing the narrations on Lakeview Man and on the Nightmare Hunter. There are definitely more of those in the works. So going to keep him busy and get that little drawl of his going. I think it's going to be perfect. But I appreciate every one of you guys. You guys have been amazing. I mean, this journey to me is just getting started, and I can't wait to see where it goes. We're gonna grow together. And I've said many times, when the tide comes in, all boats should rise, and that's gonna be the case. Dark Angel has been amazing. Doc is amazing. He's been my brother for 10 years now.
Appreciate it.
Anthony has just come out of nowhere. I came out of left field like a house of fire. He is really kicking ass. And, yeah, I've been lucky to be surrounded by very good people, and that's pretty much been throughout my writing career. I've been lucky to be surrounded by some very good people. No success has ever been one person. No matter how much anybody wants to try to say it's that one person, success is a team effort. And while I may not be, where I one day hope to be, I'm a hell of a lot farther away from where I started.
Amen.
So thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys that have been with us from the beginning of this channel, and thank you guys that are with us now. And if you haven't had a chance, hit that like and subscribe button. Share these videos with your friends that enjoy this kind of content, and it does help the channel grow. And we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Something else I've said many times, and I'll say again, is that stories and writing are journeys that we take together. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you so much for taking this journey with us. So hopefully you guys will see you on Saturday night. We had the new intro tonight, which I hope everybody liked. Josh did a really good job on that new intro. However, the outro is not done yet, so it's still the old outro. So I hope you guys will bear in mind that hopefully Saturday night we will have the new outro as well. But Josh did a really good job. Thanks a lot, Josh, if you're listening. Appreciate you taking care of that. So we'll see you guys on Saturday night. We are going to have a great time, and appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. So love y'all, and have a great night. Have a great week, and see you on Saturday.
Night, everyone.
Not y'all.
Thank you for joining us tonight on DAX Machina. If you ever have an encounter of your own that you wish to discuss, contact us at daroberts@daroberts.net. You can remain completely anonymous if you wish. Pull your covers up tight and keep a nightlight burning bright. Oh, and did you forget to lock your doors?